The James Whale Show on PlayTwoUK.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
Okay, here we are. Good evening. It is a sunny... hang on, let me just check it out. It's a sunny Tuesday, and the Whale is on the wireless. Good evening to you. James Whale here, live across the world on the web from Playradio UK. Now, if you want to join us tonight, these are the numbers to call. 01243 55 60 60. That's 01243 55 60 60. You can email us at studio@playradiouk.com. All right, that's at studio@playradiouk.com. And so let's hear what's going on out there. We'll be talking to the one and only Nigel Farage, the leader of UKIP, direct from the European Parliament, a little bit later on this evening. And we're to talk about the things that matter to you. And this, of course, is the home of free speech. There's very little free speech at the moment in the media in this country. And hopefully here at Play Radio UK, we're putting the freedom back into talk radio. Talk radio is a genre that I have been involved in for many, many years, and sadly, it seems to be losing its edge. Right. Well, we've had loads of emails. Thank you for those as well. And one guy, David Green, emailed me and he said, one thing I am missing is your live music shows on Sunday. Please get the fantastic Jim Diamond back on the programme. Well, I was talking to Jim the other day, and I am in the next few weeks, I'm going to bring Jim down as a guest on the show. He's going to bring his guitar and he'll sing some music live, and hopefully we may get some other people as well. And loads of you replied during the week with ideas for guests. So thank you very much indeed for that. And we will try and put in as many as you like. Now, talking about emails, if you have a suggestion for the programme, what you should do, not now, unless you really want to, not now, but during the week, you can email me at james@playradiouk.com. Is that right?
James.Whale.
Okay, james.whale@playradiouk.com. But right now, if you want to be on the show tonight, all you've got to do is email studio@playradiouk.com, and we'll read some of those out. Of course, I want lots of calls too, so let's start off with this one. Hi, you're on the air. Hello? Oh. No, maybe you're not. Well, they were, but it's gone.
Not that much time, did they?
No, okay.
Hit the drop button.
Oh, the drop button. Is that what I do? Turn it all off. Right, okay, we can start again. I thought it was a bit early to get calls, 6 o'clock in the evening, unless you happen to be driving, and I happen to know now we do have people listening while they're driving on the new online car radio systems. People listening on their Blackberries, people listening... let's see if we can pick this one up. You're on the James Whale Radio Show. Hello.
Hello?
Who's that?
Oh, James.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
Linda Wilson speaking from Glasgow.
Who's that?
Linda from Glasgow.
Linda from Glasgow. Hi, Linda.
Yeah. I've just discovered you, James, on your new on your new web, Play Radio.
Well, listen, go on,
yes.
that's good.
And I'm thrilled to bits to find you, because we miss you so much on Talk Sport. It is so boring.
Well,
it's shocking.
That radio station has, I'm afraid, sadly ceased to exist
I'm
in
very
my
angry
psyche.
with them.
You're not half as angry as I am, but and then probably nowhere near as angry as Mrs. Whale. But
yes.
What the heck? I mean, I've written the complete story, which will be in my book.
I have your book, which I've read, which is terrific. So
yeah.
You're doing another book?
No, the paperback version of that book comes out later this year.
Yes.
And it has an extra chapter in it about what happened.
Excellent.
And some new photographs, and that's about it. But listen, it's great. How did you find me?
Well, I put the sound down now so that I can speak to you, but I'm looking at it on the web. You see, I found it just by Googling in James Whale and where is James and what is James doing now. And so I found you. But the problem is I can't just sit here till 10 o'clock, whereas, I could carry the radio around with me and listen.
Now,
that's the problem now.
We can sort that out for you.
How?
Well, because there's a little dongle that you stick into your computer.
Yes.
And it plays this through all your radios in your home.
Oh, James.
Now, I'm not sure how it works. Matt will tell us. How does it work, Matt?
Oh, it's very simple.
Yeah.
You plug it into the back of your computer through a USB port, set the frequency that you desire, so perhaps one that doesn't come near a local radio station.
Okay.
And then you go to your normal radio, tune that into that frequency, and bang, you've got it, providing you're playing audio on your computer.
Well, there we are.
What? I couldn't hear what he said.
What you do is where do you get this thing from?
Well, you can get them from places like Curry's and stuff like that, or you can get them from eBay. They're all over eBay at the minute.
And what are they called?
They're just called, I believe, a USB FM transmitter dongle. A lot of people might know them as iTunes FM transmitters or iPod transmitters.
What was the other bit?
iTunes FM
transmitters, or things you use for your iPod. Basically, if you have an iPod, you can plug something in the bottom of it. It's like an FM transmitter, which means you can listen to your iPod while you're driving in your car.
Yeah.
Slow down, Matt's getting excited. Slow down, Matt.
So am I. It's great news.
This works along the same sort of technology. You just plug it into the back of your computer instead.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Then I can just listen in any room in the house.
Any room in the house, and we're talking about changing the times and stuff that the program's on, because we're on very early at the moment.
Do you think you might have extra time, not just one evening a week? Would you be on longer, do you think, other evenings?
There's a possibility. There's a possibility.
Oh, I do hope so, because
there's a possibility.
It's not the same. It's just not the same.
Oh.
And I listen to loads of radio. I love radio. And the presenters, some are good, some are not so good, but none have got that edge. Nobody's exciting.
Oh, well, listen, Linda, I think I'll just go home now because I'm on a high. I don't need to do anything. I think I'll just go home, and that's it. Listen, this is the beginning of not only radio but broadcasting revolutions, because I think, and I'm sorry to say this, particularly to a lot of people who work in radio and seem to have missed the boat, but I think that we have got the makings of a revolution here, because there will be no restrictions on broadcasting this way. There will be so many radio stations and radio companies who've missed the boat because they've put money into DAB radio, which nobody seems to be taking much notice of.
Yes.
And this is quite easy. Once you've worked out the easy way in which you can listen, and in America now, because of the distances in America, they have Wi-Fi radios. In fact, here...
I've heard about this.
Can you get Wi-Fi radios here?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I found that on the web as well, and of course I told my husband about it. He said, "You see how much it cost?" I said, "To listen to James, it's worth it."
Well, you remember a couple of years ago we were promoting like mad the DAB radios.
Yes.
And they were about £70 or £80.
Yes.
And you remember they came down to sort of £30 and £20.
That's right.
And I think that the Wi-Fi radios will be coming down very soon.
Oh, I'm so excited. And that's the best news.
Now tell me what I should be talking about tonight.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Oh,
what do you think I should be... What do you want to hear us talk about?
Oh, I want to hear you talk about... could you talk about that Wi-Fi and how people can get it?
Okay.
Please?
I'll tell you what we should do. We should get a technical guest on the programme in a week or so. Matt will sort that out. Somebody who can actually come in and explain to the people like me, because I'm not really very au fait with the sort of technical side of all of this.
Yeah, because because radio is such a wonderful medium, but it's no use with restrictions, and you can't say this, you can't say that. It's no good.
And it's getting worse. And obviously, somebody somewhere wanted me controlled, and well.
You don't control James well.
You can control James well, but.
And can I ask you something else about Ash? Will he be following you at all?
I don't know, but maybe.
Good.
I don't know, but maybe.
Good. Oh, James, that was lovely. I wish you all the best of luck.
Linda,
I hope it all goes well. Really, I do.
Oh, hang on. The boss has just come in.
Yes.
All right, Lee. Now come closer to a microphone and tell me exactly what this is. What is this, Lee?
This is one of these FM transmitters.
Oh, right. Yes,
you just put a battery in the back.
Yeah.
And there's a normal plug.
Yeah.
Plug you expect to plug into your iPod or headphones socket. For your
you just
plug that in.
Yep.
Set the frequency you want to be on. On here.
Even I could do that.
And then you go and find your radio and match the frequency.
It's a little thing the size of half the size of a mobile phone.
Right.
And this one's a Belkin. That's the maker, Belkin.
Right.
Belkin.
Yes.
And it's got a little plug that you plug into the back of your computer. It'll be obvious where you plug that into.
Yeah.
That looks like a headphone socket.
Usually marked in green, yeah.
Okay. And then there's a little dial with, you can tune it up and down like a radio.
Okay.
And you tune it in to a spare frequency, of which there are many on the FM. And you will get, and it's a much better quality than the old talk radio. Much better quality.
That is so good.
And it doesn't break up anywhere, and it's not like DAB that you lose transmission and all that sort of thing. We hope. The only problem we have is when lots of people tune in, then it can get a bit hairy, but we'll get over that.
Right. Oh, that is just, I'm so pleased. That's so exciting. It's wonderful.
Good.
Really,
well, that's excellent. And Linda, we didn't even make this call up. And
we didn't. But good luck in everything you do in the future.
Yeah. Well, hang on, the boss. What were you going to say?
Yeah, what we was just saying in the office is we might make a page up on the website explaining the various different methods to,
what a good
to
idea.
do this.
Now that would be
that's a very good idea.
Yes, now that really would be helpful. Thank you.
That's made a complete waste of the last 5 minutes of me talking
no, it
about
hasn't.
it.
It's exciting.
And listen, when you get good at that, Linda, you then need to go to Skype.
Yes.
Because then you can make free phone calls to the program on the Skype phone, and it will sound like you're in the studio.
Oh.
Okay.
That's the next thing.
Take it easy.
Little trips to the studio to say hello.
Okay. Listen, nice. Tell your friends.
Yes, I do. I tell them all. They know.
Oh, well, that's excellent. All right.
Oh, yes.
Linda, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, James. All the best of good luck to you and Mrs. Wales.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's lovely. That's one of my old listeners from the other radio station that will remain nameless. And it is, we're picking up more and more. Okay, I'm here live from 6 until 10 on a Tuesday, but I think that will probably change in the not-too-distant future. But the beauty of this show being on the internet, of course, is that you will be able to listen again and again. And from Thursday, Matt will have made sure that it's available. You can hear it on PlayRadio UK. You can hear it through my site at jameswhaleradio.com. And by the way, if you don't know, you can go to jameswhaleradio.com and you can hear my thoughts of the day on there live. Well, they're live when I do them. When you hear them, they're not live. And you can also read my wife's blog, which is under the name of Mrs. Wales' Diary. Mrs. Wales' Diary is a play on words, and Matt, who's very young, who sits with me in the studio and does the difficult stuff here, has no idea. But Mrs. Dale's Diary was a very well-known radio programme.
Right.
You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
No. Okay, fine. Good. Right, we're going to talk about the Irish vote. No. Later on tonight, we're going to talk about the disgusting behaviour, in my opinion, of the Metropolitan Police, who behaved like thugs when they were battling with protesters against George W. Bush, probably the most disgusting human being on the planet at the moment, and a man who pretends to be a Christian. And also I want to spend a little time talking about that idiot Alison Ruff. Alison Ruff is a member of the General Synod of the Church of England. She's an elderly, well, not that elderly. She's, she's probably my age, actually, but she doesn't look as sexy as me, that's for sure. Who was getting her knickers, if she wears any, in a twist the other day about two gay priests getting their union blessed. Now, I don't care about religion one way or the other, as you probably know, but I do get really pissed off with people like this woman who suggested that they should be defrocked. Or is that just a fantasy in Alison Ruff's mind? I don't know. I'd like to find out. We've got a Skype call. If you want to Skype us, you can. All you got to do is go to play.radio.uk on your Skype. This one.
No, next one.
Is Ed. Hello, Ed.
Hi, James.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, very good. That's a very good Skype connection we've got there.
The wonders of broadband, eh?
Yeah, it seems to me that you're sounding better than me. I'm going to have to be careful about that.
Well. Basically, I'm just calling to talk about our friend Hazel Blair's.
Hazel...
Have you seen...
Hazel Blair's. Hazel Blair's is known in the House of Commons as the Poison Dwarf, because she's so short and has bright red hair and talks crap every time she opens her mouth. Crap. Oozes from it. Do you remember the last time I did an interview with her? And I tried being nice. I said, you are my favourite short female MP. And she didn't really take it in the spirit that it was meant.
Yeah, well, if there's one MP who just epitomises everything that's wrong with modern British politics, it's Hazel Blears.
Now, now Hazel Blears she's the Minister for Communities,
God
isn't it?
knows what.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. She's the minister for God knows what. All right. Okay.
But basically, I don't know if you've heard it, but she's in rather deep water because her constituency office was broken into yesterday, I believe, and a laptop containing very sensitive government information, which should not have been on it, was pinched.
Yeah. She's an idiot, anyway. I know she wants to take me on. She can come on the James Whale Radio Show on PlayRadio UK. That's the end of it. Can I just throw something out for those people? This is an interesting point. They're all stupid. Did you see Ed Bollocks today? Well, his name is Ed Balls, but I changed it to Bollocks. Who was going on about how much better this country was since the Labour Party took over. Now, I have no love of the Tories at the moment because I don't think they know where they're going. But when Labour took over in 1997, this country was not in debt. And Ed Danglybits reckoned, when we took over, the balance of payments was terrible. We had something like 50 million quid in the bank.
In the black.
50 billion. 50 billion in the black. And now we're borrowing from anybody who will lend it to us.
And we've blown it on, what?
War.
Wasted ID card schemes, war. It's an absolute joke, James.
Everything. And now Gordon Brown, who's got no dangly bits as far as I can see, couldn't stand up to George Bush, and so he's committed another 230 of our troops. We don't have enough troops to do this. We do not have enough troops to do this, and quite frankly, I think it is about time that the government were removed.
Yeah, very, very true, but unfortunately, we're going to replace them with an exact replica of the Labour, Conservative, whatever you want to call them party, because they're all the bloody same,
Ed, if everybody does what I suggest at the next election and they vote out every sitting, standing, kneeling or crawling member of the House of Commons, then we will have a completely different complexion there.
I don't know what we need to do in this country, but it needs changing. It needs changing damn fast because it's going to the dogs, it really is. But just about Hazel Blears, I'm just so glad that finally someone who presents herself as such a perfect, upstanding member of the party is going to be in such deep trouble because of this computer that's been stolen, and it's got all this really sensitive information on it.
I'd like to see the information. You remember when the bloke left the army information on the train? And then somebody else left some other information somewhere. Now, come on. These guys are too experienced to do this. They're doing it on purpose, aren't they? This is being done on purpose. There's something going on here that is trying to nobody who handles sensitive information leaves it on the train. I mean, if they do, they should be taken out and shot, I think, really.
Well, the least that's got to happen in this case is, she's a senior member of the government. She's lost data which is incredibly sensitive. I'm just quoting here. It relates to defence and extremism, so it's going to be fairly important information.
What would you give Hazel Blears anything that was important for? I mean, all she is really is somebody who has her talent is to crawl around after whoever's in charge and suck face, really.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all she
right.
does.
And she's such a smarmy, self-righteous, pompous so-and-so that I just hope she gets kicked out. That's the very least that should happen. She's an absolutely diabolical.
You're right.
Sore on the face of this earth. I'm sorry, but she is.
Good. You're not wrong, Ed. Thank you for your call. If you want to join us, the number is on the phone 01243 55 60 60. Give us a ring 01243 55 60 60. You could Skype me by calling us at play.radio.uk if you have a Skype phone, or you can just email us. Tell us what's going on where you are at studio@playradiouk.com. This is the James Whale Radio Show. You can see us online as well. How many people can see us online?
Without counting, I think we stop at about 100 for the video cameras. It's a VIP guest room.
It's a VIP guest room. If you're lucky enough to get in, you can see it real time up there. Wave to everybody up there. And it's like being on Bid TV, isn't it, really? There we are. And the rest you have to listen, I'm afraid. Tell your friends, get everybody tuned in. Welcome to those of you listening elsewhere in the world, apart from the UK. UK is having a lovely sunny day today. I'm sitting here on the south coast looking out towards the sea. There is a shimmering light coming across the sea, which I can tell you is absolutely lovely.
PlayTwoUK headlines.
The cost of living is rising. Latest inflation figures stand at 3.3%, with the Governor of the Bank of England saying it could reach 4% by Christmas. 2 men are facing life sentences for murdering a teenage boy in a case of mistaken identity. Michael Osunmu was shot dead with a machine gun as he slept in his bed in Peckham, London, last year. Osama bin Laden's right-hand man in Europe will be freed on bail within the next 24 hours. Outspoken preacher Abu Qatada won his fight against deportation from Britain in April. And the Tory party chairman's to be investigated for misusing her expenses. Caroline Spellman's accused of paying her nanny's wages with it.
You're up to date on PlayTwoUK.
James Wales. They can take the man off the radio, but they can't take the voice off air.
They can try. James, my name is Peter. I am from Australia, and I'm interested in the interview that you did with Ronald Wineland, the End of Time Prophet, and the other one you did last year as well. It was funny how you were trying to take the P, but you couldn't get on top, really. You should take him seriously, because if you have not noticed, then world events around us, they are leading up to those times he was talking about. Anyway, besides that, do you have Ronald's email address and phone number that I could have? No, I can't. I'm very sorry. Pratt features. Listen, I'm sorry you're in Australia, mate. Not near enough for me to but Peter, you can't really believe a word Ronald Wineland says. He's talking rubbish. Absolute rubbish. And people who believe this sort of thing, I worry about. I am concerned, Peter. You better ring me, Skype me or something. This is from Peter Collins. Says, I know George Galloway's a good friend of yours, but I think his ego and paranoia has gone to his head. Now, I'll explain. Mr. Galloway has reported the producers of The Bill on ITV to Ofcom, and has informed them he will be suing ITV for libel, and all because in one episode of The Bill they featured a corrupt MP living in East London who took bribes and was a bit of a womanizer. Now, James, I saw that episode of The Bill, and believe me, that person I thought was no way anything like George. He didn't even have a Scottish accent. George does get very upset about stuff, I must admit. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I still like George. George he's a good bloke, but you know. Right, James, this link is the Spiders and Snakes track you mentioned earlier. Oh, that's up from Steve Bentley, thank you for that. That's from a while ago. You don't remember Spiders and Snakes. Do you think we could get that off there, or not?
We can watch it on YouTube, and it can play out as audio as we watch it, but the quality's not that good. I checked out the copy, so what I'm going to do is actually hunt down a proper copy. All right.
Spiders and Snakes by... who was it by? I've forgotten now myself. It came... I've forgotten. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Why was I talking? I was talking about it because we had a caller that... what are you doing now?
Moving the keyboard out of the way.
All right, okay. Have I done something wrong with that?
If you have to rest on that keyboard, it'll mess up the screen.
Is that why you couldn't get it? And that you couldn't work that out until just now? All right, okay. Terrible trouble. Right. Now, let's go on to Steve James. Hello, Steve James. If you want to email us, by the way, you email us for tonight. It's studio@playradiouk.com. If you want to email me during the rest of the week, then it's james.whale@playradiouk.com. It's as simple as that. Right, now, let's see if we can... Have you spoken to Nigel?
I have. We can phone him back now.
Let's do that. And while you're doing that, we're going to talk to Nigel Farage, the leader of UKIP. He's over in Brussels at the moment, or I think he might be in Strasbourg. I'm not sure where he is. And this is Stephen James sent this to me. He said, the Irish did vote no. The treaty is dead in the water. You must talk about this on Tuesday. I just heard your podcast. Don't suppose you could get David Davis on. It's good to see somebody standing up for what they believe in and just for balance, possibly Mr. Mackenzie. I know he's your former boss, but try and be neutral, James. I can't really... I love Kelvin Mackenzie. I can't... I mean, I had lunch with him last week, and he is on good form, and he may well stand against David Davis. Not all MPs are a waste of space, only most of them. The tankers' strike has started and is having no effect at all. Government documents left on trains. This is all something we should talk about. You're absolutely right. They are all things we should talk about. Let's talk first, here on the James Whale Radio Show tonight, around the world on the web, to the leader of UKIP, from his offices in, I don't know where he is at the moment. He's probably in Brussels, maybe in France, could be somewhere else. Nigel Farage. Nigel, good evening to you.
Good evening from Strasbourg.
Oh, from Strasbourg, which is in France, of course. I always used to think Strasbourg was in Germany because it sounded like a German name.
Well, it has spent quite a lot of years in German hands.
Yes, I know.
But currently the French have got it back, yeah.
Right, just before we go, the French now are going to join NATO.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
Well, in theory, I would have thought it was good, because the French pulled out of the military side of it back in 1966. This very famous meeting when Lyndon Johnson, as president, toured Europe, looking to try and get support for Vietnam, etc.
That's right.
And he went to meet de Gaulle in Paris, and de Gaulle said to Lyndon Johnson, "I want all Americans off French soil." And Johnson responded by saying, "Does that include the dead ones?"
What's wrong with the Americans? Well, sometimes they put their feet in it. I mean, we must remember, of course, a lot of people won't know that Vietnam was under French jurisdiction at one time, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, it was the total failure of the French to deal with it that led to the Americans stepping in. Now, I mean, the truth of this is that Sarkozy is playing a very clever game. What he really wants is a European army with a single foreign policy, and that's what he's going to push for when he's the president of the EU for the last 6 months of this year. So by saying that, oh, well, we're going to rejoin the military wing of NATO is, if you like, a bit of a diversion from the real agenda. And the real agenda is, in fact, to get European countries ultimately out of NATO and for this place to operate completely independently militarily, something I think that the British Armed Forces would be 100% opposed to.
Do you think that if the French Foreign Legion were to go into Afghanistan and help the Brits, that would be good?
Well, I mean, what I would like to see in Afghanistan, James, which let's not forget, Afghanistan is a NATO mission. What I would like to see are countries like Germany actually helping us. Because right at the moment, even though it's NATO, the only countries fulfilling their obligations are the British and the Americans.
But can we do anything? Do you actually believe, I mean, the Russians spent 10, 15 years in Afghanistan and then decided to go.
No, I mean, that's a different question, James. I mean, look, the British Army, every time it's had a crack in Afghanistan, going back to 1842, has suffered a humiliating disaster. And as you say, in 1980, when the Soviets were strong, they went in there absolutely giving it everything they got, and it was a disaster for them. Unlike Iraq, I do think what we're trying to do in Afghanistan is laudable in many ways, but it's going to be a very, very, very difficult thing to win.
Okay. Right, let's talk about the stuff you want to talk about tonight. You were cock-a-hoop. You were in the Irish bar along the road from the European Parliament the other night. I know, because you rang me and said, do you want to come over? I said, no, I can't really. And the Irish voted no. The French have... This is the Lisbon Treaty we're talking about, guys. The Irish have voted no to the Lisbon Treaty. The French have voted no to the Lisbon Treaty. The British haven't been allowed to vote, so, you know...
And don't forget the Dutch, James.
And the Dutch voted no.
Yep.
Anybody who has been asked to vote on the Lisbon Treaty has voted no.
Virtually. In fact, the Spanish did vote yes. But then don't forget they've received over 60 billion euros in aid since they joined the EU, and in Luxembourg it was nip and tuck, despite the fact of the enormous benefits Luxembourg gets, and the yes side just about won. So, you know, we've had 5 referendums, and 3 of them have been no, but who doubts that if the Danes, or the Swedes, or the Finns, or the Brits, or the Germans even, or the, you know, had an opportunity to vote on this, they too would have said no, and what we're witnessing here is a complete dislocation between the political class that run Europe and the citizens of Europe. And at the end of the day, the British want to govern themselves, the French want to govern themselves, and the Germans want to govern themselves. And this is something that these EU maniacs can't face up to. So, I mean, I was absolutely thrilled with the Irish result, because, I mean, let's not forget that the weight of money on the yes side and the propaganda that was coming from the government and from all the arms of Irish media meant that it was, really was a very one-sided campaign.
I think there's an interesting thing here. First of all, I think people should know that Nigel is not xenophobic in any way, shape or form. I mean, I don't know whether it's widely known, but you're married to a German lady.
This is true.
Your name sounds French.
I've worked for French companies.
And you're not at all hostile to any kind of foreign situation or European situation at all?
I mean, quite the reverse. And once I get out of this ghastly building in an hour's time, we shall go into the city of Strasbourg, which is delightful, and we'll eat the local Alsatian food and drink the local Alsatian wine, and it's a quite delightful place to be. No, I am not anti-European. That would be moronic. But what I'm anti is this attempt to take all these different countries with different cultures and languages, and without the consent of the peoples, to force them together under one unified form of government that is led at the top by people that we can't even vote for.
And people who are useless. I mean, I'm sorry, but the European Union haven't even managed to sort out their monetary affairs yet. They have never had one of their budgets okayed, as far as I understand it. They're spending money like it's going out of fashion. And nobody seems to be accountable. The commissioners are not even democratically elected.
No, the commissioners are appointed, and so they're completely beyond the fingertips of any democratic control from the people. The accounts of this union have not been signed off by the auditors now for 13 years in a row. And if you think about it, I mean, imagine being a director of a public company whose accounts weren't signed off. I mean, you'd be sent straight to the nick.
How do they get away with this?
Well, they get away with it because what our politicians have done in Britain and the other member states is they've, piece by piece, without ever telling the public the truth, given these vast powers to the European Union. And those of us that have been fighting against this were 10 years ago or so considered to be quite mad. But as you can see from the referendum result in Ireland the other day, suddenly the people are waking up, and this gap now that exists between the people and the politicians is a gaping chasm. It really is.
Now, listen, the thing that really annoyed me more than anything else was, first of all, the Irish government saying, oh, well, the people voted no, but it's not quite as simple as that. We're going to have to look at the situation and decide what we do. So they're completely disregarding the wishes of the majority of the people of Ireland.
Well, it's actually more serious than that, James, because the rules are very, very clear that any treaty change in the European Union has to be approved unanimously by all member states, or it is dead. So it's perfectly clear that the Irish voting no should have killed it. When the French and Dutch voted no, they sort of rejigged it and changed the title. So this should be the end of it. And yet, what was said by President Barroso, the President of the European Commission, even before the official result was out, was this treaty is not dead. Now, and what I'm hearing today, and I've heard it in speech after speech in the parliamentary chambers today, is we must not be distracted by the Irish. Ratification proceeds, despite the fact the rules say it shouldn't. And tomorrow afternoon, in the House of Lords, the bill that would legalise this treaty is going to be represented to members of the House of Lords for a final time. So they're carrying on regardless, in breach of their own rules, in breach of international treaty law. They just don't care. They're so determined to build their United States of Europe that nothing as inconvenient as what the voters think is going to get in their way.
Okay, then what can we do about it? If democracy isn't something that Europeans, or the European Parliament, not the Europeans want democracy. In fact, European nations have continually voted against the stupid bureaucracy of Brussels. What can we do about it? I mean, David Davis has quit. Yep. Gone to stand in a by-election. You got excited about this, I know, the other day, because you said what he's going to stand on a platform against the kind of restrictive society and the observed society that we now live in. More CCTV cameras in Britain than any other country. I think we can now hold people up to 45 days without trial. In France, it's, 2 days?
Well, that's what they say. But
in America, it's 6 days?
Yeah, but I mean, listen, I agree with David Davis that it is absolutely monstrous that local councils can tape our telephones if they suspect us of fly tipping. I hate the extent to which CCTV and the Big Brother state has been extended, and I don't like the way Parliament is voting to ban us from smoking in pubs or hunting foxes or whatever it may be. So I'm with David Davis on this, but when David Davis says this is the great debate of our time, that he's fighting for British liberty and British freedom, he's only telling half the story. Because whilst he may be right to criticise Parliament, the bigger picture here is that actually 75% of our laws are now made in the European Union. We've already got a thing called a European arrest warrant, where any one of us could be whisked off and chucked in a Greek jail. And in this Lisbon Treaty, there's a massive, massive provision in there where the whole of justice and home affairs, that means policing, that means prison sentences, that means all of these things, would in 5 years' time not be decided by the people we vote for and send to Westminster, but would all be decided here by the unelected European Commission. So the David Davis campaign, I'm afraid, he says he's standing on principle, he's only standing on half a principle.
Why has he must, he's not stupid, he must know that, and he must know that the majority of the things he's complaining about, that the British Parliament have no control over. So why has he not said that?
Well, he seems to have made this sort of Faustian pact with sort of Labour rebels like Bob Marshall-Andrews and the Liberal Democrats. So he's got people that are very, very pro-EU supporting him on this so-called campaign on liberty, and I guess part of the deal is that if he steps outside of that, they'll withdraw their support. So that's what he's done.
Yeah, but in that case, Nigel, he's lying because he cannot achieve anything. It seems to me a rather pointless thing to do. First of all, nobody's going to stand against him. It looks, at the moment, nobody seriously is going to stand against him. He's going to end up going back into Parliament. He will be on the back benches. I reckon there's something there. I think he's going to make another play to take the leadership away from Cameron. I mean, Cameron is too wet, too stupid, and too idiotic to really be the leader of anything.
I think David Davis does know the truth, and it's quite possible that he wants to get re-elected, and once he's re-elected, he might start to speak more broadly on the other issues. But for the moment, I can't applaud this campaign up in Yorkshire, because it's not that he's lying, he's just not telling the full truth. He's not letting people realise just how much of our lives, just how many of these things are now decided by Brussels, and at the moment it looks like nobody of any major stature is actually going to stand and challenge him. And if, as he says, he wants the outcome of this by-election to be that there is a big national debate about our future, then I would like to see somebody with a good high profile come forward and challenge him on the stump.
So, okay, well, my former boss, Mr. Mackenzie, was going to do it, but I don't think he's going to do it now, is he?
Well, I mean, Kelvin was keen to stand, and I know that Kelvin was going to talk about the European question and try and embarrass Davis on that. It would appear that Kelvin's comments about Hull, that he made in a TV studio the other day, I forget exactly what the word was that he used, I suppose when you're a newspaper editor, you can do it, but when you're standing as a candidate in the constituency that adjoins Hull, it's not so easy.
Maybe I should then go up and maybe we should do something. Maybe at least I should make a few speeches. And
well, James,
seeing that I now work on the proper home of broadcasting on the internet, there are no stupid restrictions, as far as I can see, stopping me from doing it. Maybe we should do that. Maybe it just needs a couple of head-to-head debates with David Davis, saying, "Hang on a minute, David. Look, it's all well and good, but we seem to have far less control over any of this because, of course, the European Parliament will decide what we're going to do."
That's absolutely right, and if someone like you, James, was to stand in that by-election, given the profile that you've got, and publicly challenge Davis, he would not be able to run away from actually having this debate. And we might even get him in the course of the campaign to start, telling us more about what's really going on.
Supposing I won this election.
Yes.
Then what am I going to do?
You'd be accused then of being a money grabber. You'd be accused of being in it for the expenses. Now, if you won it,
would I be able to employ my wife and my family?
Oh, absolutely, no questions asked. No, James, if you won it, you would be a national champion in Westminster. You'd be the most popular politician in Britain. Make no mistake about that.
Okay, well, listen, I think we should talk about that because they haven't called the election yet.
No, the writ's not been moved, so we're guessing it'll be in July at some point.
Okay, well, why don't we do it? Why don't we have a little go at this? It might be quite fun. I mean, I can do my radio show from up there, and I can we'll be able to get some sponsorship to to help us do it, well, it might be worth it,
and I think a lot of your fan club of listeners would come out and campaign for you and go out there in that constituency and say to people, David Davis is a decent man, but he's not telling you the truth and the whole truth.
And I've got quite a lot of connections with Yorkshire, as everybody knows, and some of my family still live there.
Well, it looks like a goer, doesn't it?
I think we should do this. I think we should definitely do this.
Let's have a chat.
I've got a couple of suits, of course, which I wear on Bid TV, and they look just as good as any politician's suits. I think that's fine.
Excellent.
I think we'll do that. Listen, stay with me. I'd like to talk to about you. I know you've got a few minutes left, haven't you?
Sure.
You're only going out to dinner anyway.
I've got a little bit more work to do, but then dinner will happen, make no mistake about it. Yeah. I've been stuck in this ghastly, soulless building now for 12 hours, with thousands of people, most of whom are quite appalling. So, yes, I'm looking forward to getting out of here. Make no mistake about it.
Right, we'll come back and talk in a moment. Just take a break.
Sunday night just got better on PlayTwoUK.
Hello, this is Chris Tarrant. If you're hearing this now, you've missed me on Hershey's Half Hour, but don't worry. You can listen again at playradiouk.com/podcast.
Hershey's Half Hour. 30 minutes of top-flight entertainment expertly crammed into 2 hours. Sundays from 10 on PlayTwoUK.
It's a show with everything, and then somehow in its way, nothing.
What is she like, eh?
Yeah, she's mad, isn't she?
Yeah, always on for a laugh when we go on holiday. I didn't think she'd actually do it, though, did you?
No way.
So how much did they say the hospital bill was going to be? I don't understand Spanish.
About 15 grand.
Right. Hello, Mrs. Draper, it's Stacey. It's about Vicky. She had an accident in the hotel. She should be okay, but there's going to be a big bill from the hospital. You know that car Mr. Draper was thinking about?
It can be a real problem if things go wrong on holiday, and an expensive one too. So if you're going on holiday with your mates this year, make sure you know about everything you need before you go. Visit fco.gov.uk/travel for more information.
Playradio UK have teamed up with Virgin Wines to offer you a massive £20 discount off your favourite wines. Visit playradiouk.com/Virgin Wines to start saving now and get your favourite wines delivered to your door. Play Radio UK and Virgin Wines for people who love their wine and a great deal. playradiouk.com/Virgin Wines.
James Wales. Silence was never an option.
There we go, Play Radio UK, the James Whale Radio Show, and we're live across the world from Play Radio UK from 6 till 10 on a Tuesday night. Of course, you can then hear the recorded highlights of the show on podcast thingy.
PlayRadioUK.com/podcast. We've had a couple of issues with our host at the minute, though it should be sorted by tomorrow.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that's good. And, of course, on my site, jameswellradio.com, you can hear it too. Now, we're talking with Nigel Farage, leader of UKIP, about the possibility I might go and give David Davis a bit of a fright. And something else I was thinking of, I think we should, I was always going to do this with my former employers and never get round to it. I think we should do the programme live from Strasbourg one night.
Come and do it. Come and do it. Yeah. I can find you a never-ending stream of idiots to appear, all of whom treat voters with total contempt. Who think that the French, the Dutch and the Irish are all idiots, and all of whom are determined to become masters of the universe. So I can find plenty of them for you, don't worry.
And do they belong to the Bilderberg group as well?
Well, quite a few of them do, yes. But I think most of them, I think most of them do actually see it as a means of self-enrichment. And the reason I say that...
I'm sure they do. I'm absolutely sure they do.
I mean, the majority of people that work in institutions like this have gone to school, gone to university, and gone straight into politics. They've got no experience of life, they haven't worked for a charity, been in business, been in the army, they've got no life experience whatsoever, so is it any wonder they make such awful laws?
Well, you know, absolutely none, and you know my view of our own homegrown political talent or lack of it. The same thing that we get in in Parliament. We get the sort of people that really shouldn't be there.
Oh, that's right. And then what happens is when they fail in Westminster, they all get sent to Europe.
Well,
so I'll give you a good example. I mean, the British Commissioner at the moment is Mr. Peter Mandelson. Twice kicked out of the Cabinet, and here he is having a very nice life as a European Commissioner. Before that, we have the great Mr. Kinnock, who lost the general election in 1992, and,
how does that work? How can somebody like Mandelson, and I suppose I'm still bound by the laws of slander and libel, but I mean, he got kicked out for being a bit wide. I think
James, he got kicked out for mortgage fraud.
Okay.
That's what he got kicked out for.
Okay.
Now, let's be straightforward about it, and it's something for which you and I would have gone to prison for.
Well, how did he, and now has the audacity to sneer, because he's a very good sneerer, is Mandelson.
Oh, yeah. But I can do one better than that, James.
Go on.
Forget Mandelson. Tomorrow, we're having a vote in the Parliament tomorrow for a new commissioner to be in charge of justice. Right? The very area that David Davis... No, far worse than Mandelson. Just brace yourself here.
Go on, okay.
Right, no, it really is worse.
Let's have a competition. Who's he going to be? Go on.
And you may not have heard of this guy, but it's a Frenchman called Jacques Barrot, and we're going to vote for him tomorrow to become the Justice Commissioner. He will have all these powers that David Davis is so concerned about, and this man that tomorrow will take over as Justice Commissioner was in the year 2000 convicted of embezzlement in court in France. I mean, you couldn't invent it, could you? You simply couldn't. I often say that UKIP almost doesn't need to exist. I mean, they make their own bad PR the whole time.
Why aren't there people... I mean, I know Michael Moore has had a bit of a go at that, and also my pal Alex Jones. The Bilderberg Conference in 1993, Tony Blair has never disappointed his powerful masters when he attended. He transformed Labour from a social democratic socialist party pledged to extend public ownership and reducing inequalities into a privatising pro-big business party that was intensely relaxed about people getting filthy rich. And he continues. And now he's a peacemaker in the Middle East.
That's a laugh, isn't it?
Exactly. I imagine that he probably will become the first Euro super minister, which is what they're talking about at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about a permanent president of Europe, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're not couching it quite in those terms, but how can a convicted felon then become the Minister of Justice? A man who's done time, some may say he's probably better able to understand than anyone else, but let's be honest, how can he do that?
It's just extraordinary, and the reason is that under French law, Mr. Chirac, who was in the same party as Monsieur Barrot, he was given an amnesty, which meant not only was he pardoned, but in fact, in French law, the offence had never been committed. It was just wiped clean. And that's why he's allowed to be a European Commissioner. But I think his appointment tomorrow will tell us as much as we need to know about this corrupt set of institutions and why our country needs a different relationship. And I want us to be friendly with Europe. I want us to trade with Europe. I want us to be good neighbours. Although with the French from time to time it'll be tricky, I accept. but to do all the things that normal countries do. Let's go on holiday in France. Let's have them coming to us. Let's work in Paris. Let them work in London. Let's buy and sell each other's cheese or wine or cars or whatever it may be. But let's not have our heads being continually knocked together in political union. We are different countries. We've got different attitudes, different relationships around the globe. And ultimately, the only people that should decide how Britain lives should be the British people at general elections once every 4 or 5 years, and that's it.
What has to happen, though, is the British people have to wake up and take an interest in the European elections.
They are beginning to. In 2004, as we ran up to those European elections, my little party began to make some headway. So much so that Blair got into a bit of a tailspin on it and promised that he wouldn't ratify the Constitution without first giving us a referendum. Now, I know he didn't fulfill it, but at least it showed we were pushing them. I honestly think, James, I really believe that with the British, the penny has finally dropped. You know, it's affecting everyday lives.
I hope so.
Well,
because, at the moment, Gordon Brown has now almost fallen flat on his face in front of George W. Bush. A moment ago, he was saying we've got to take our armed forces out of Iraq, we've got to do this. He's now saying we're going to send 200-odd in. I mean, if he wanted to make a difference in Iraq, he should be sending in 2,000. We haven't got 2,000. We can't afford it. The country's going broke. Yet he still makes stupid mistakes. The stupid Chancellor of the Exchequer, a man who's got no talent at all, called Alistair Darling today.
Oh, but what about his charisma?
Well, he's got no charisma and no talent, no nothing. We've already slagged off Hazel Blears. It's a bit unfair because she's not the brightest light in the bucket, is she, really? The fact is that they look at you and say, oh, well, we know it's tough, but it's tough for everybody, and they still put the flipping bloody prices up. Look, we're paying £1.31 for diesel. This is ridiculous. The people of this country can't afford this. We must be getting hopped up. I mean, at the moment, I hate to think what my credit card is like at the moment because I'm not working as much as I should be.
I tell you what I can't work out, James. Well, I saw in the papers this morning, the official inflation figures year on year are 3%. I don't know how your listeners, your UK-based listeners feel about, but it's a hell of a sight more than that as far as I'm concerned.
It must be over 4%. I can't believe that it's only 3%.
I think it's more like 20%, isn't it?
I don't know, but I would have thought it was over 3%, and I would have thought also that they must realise that when the cost of fuel gets so high, the cost of everything, food and everything else is going to go up.
We saw this back in the 70s, didn't we? When the oil price exploded then. The knock-on. It knocks on to absolutely everything.
And
we're being overtaxed. We're spending our money appallingly. And one of the first things we could stop doing is we could stop giving 40 million quid a day to the European Union. That wouldn't be a bad start, would it?
Well, why not? I mean, well, they couldn't stop it, actually, and you well know, because at the moment they're so tied in to being governed by Brussels, we can't do anything.
They're so tied in, and in the absence of a referendum, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and turn the European elections next year into the referendum that you've never had. And I want us not just to concern our politicians and masters, but to frighten the life out of them, and to frighten them so much that we have to make them promise to give us a referendum on this key issue of who governs Britain. And I wish to goodness, I wish David Davis had stood up and said that in Yorkshire. If he had, James, I would drive up there and knock on doors for him myself. But he hasn't done it, and so someone's got to challenge him.
I thought you were going to say you'd drive up there and kiss him.
I wouldn't go quite that far.
No, I thought you were getting so excited you were going to drive up there and kiss him.
But I would certainly. I really mean it. I would have gone to support him because it really would have been somebody at last standing up and telling the truth. And sadly, he's telling half a truth.
Well, let's do something. Let's go and at least confront on one of the things. We must go and challenge him at some point, I think.
No, absolutely. And in fact, I'm with David Davis on Thursday night this week.
Give him my best wishes.
On the Question Time programme. Yeah. And I shall begin to start to ask some of these questions there.
And tell the producer of Question Time, it's about time I was asked on there.
It is, isn't it?
Because they keep saying, you're on the list. I don't want to be on the flipping list. I want to be on there.
I'll do what I can. I'll try and pull a string if I can.
All right, if you do that, I'll get you a session at Bid TV.
Excellent. Thank you, James.
Talk to you soon. Listen, enjoy your evening.
Thanks.
Bye. Nigel Farage, who is the boss of UKIP's now going to go into the interior of Strasbourg and have a nice dinner and a nice wine. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Well, I think we should go. Why don't we go and do the programme there? I've always wanted to do that.
I've never been to Strasbourg. I'd love to.
You've never been out of the country.
That's not true.
You've never been out of the country.
I went to Magaluf once.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, we've got a Skype call. Who's it from? It's from James. Hi, James. Maybe it's not. Hello, James.
No, he's not. He's gone.
Is he gone?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. What we're going to do is... do I need to take another break? I don't, do I?
Yes, in about 4 minutes.
Okay, in 4 minutes. We've got some calls. Let's take a call and see who's here. Hello, you're on the James Whale Radio Show. Hello.
Hi, James. It's Gary from Catford.
Gary from Catford.
How you doing, James?
I'm very good, Gary. Gary.
I've just been listening to that gentleman, and...
Nigel Farage.
Nigel Farage, sorry.
Head of UKIP.
Head of UKIP. And it's just something he mentioned that I wanted to bring up with you. It's about David Davis. I actually think, I know everyone's going on about, he's done the right thing and stood up. Surely what he's done is kind of given away his soapbox by standing down as MP.
I think I'm not sure...
He kind of shot himself in the foot.
I'm not sure what he's actually has done, but he has shown himself to be more interested about about the issues rather than his own career. Now, if I don't know, because I haven't spoken to him about it. Listen, I know David Davies. He's not a bad bloke. He's quite straight. He was a member of the SAS. He's a tough nut. He didn't come across on TV, and he's not as good a public speaker as the smarmy Mr. Cameron, which is
he had his
why
problems, didn't he?
Exactly.
That's one of the reasons why he wasn't chosen as Conservative leader.
Absolutely. Yeah, that facile, unfortunately. Now, I think he's got really annoyed about the way the Tories are just following blindly after the agenda set by Labour, although the Tories are doing better at the moment. And I actually think he's fed up, and he decided to do this. He could have stayed where he was. The chances are in the next election the Tories will get in. He would have been number 2, and he could have made a play for number 1 at a later date. But he decided to throw all that out the window because he believes that we are becoming far, far too controlled in this country. Now, as you heard what Nigel said, a lot of the things he's complaining about are controlled by Brussels anyway. So
I just think as well that you remember back when the decision was to go to war in Iraq, that Robin Cook and Claire Shaw decided to step down from cabinet positions. I think that possibly, obviously, therefore then defends their right to continue to be on as an MP and get their voice heard. I'm just concerned that David Davis has perhaps gone a little too far in now calling for a by-election, in that he may lose his seat and therefore lose his ability to influence the areas he wants to influence. I can understand not wanting to be part of a cabinet or part of a shadow cabinet that doesn't meet with his ideas and meet with his views, but standing down as an MP seems a rather extreme way of doing it.
Well, I can't understand what he thinks he's going to achieve. If nobody stands against him, then it'll become a bit of a damp squid. And if he just he resigns his seat because he's not happy about this stuff, ID cards, 45 days detention without trial, CCTV cameras and everything else. If he doesn't win the election, everybody will forget him. If he does win the election, nobody's going to say much either.
I think he could have found a better way. I mean, obviously, I applaud the fact that he stands up for what he believes in.
Yeah,
I do. He, if he in the position he's in, as you say, it'd be quite easy for him to keep his mouth shut, carry on, get a nice shadow cabinet position. He probably wouldn't get Home Office if the Conservatives come to power. Yeah. Because obviously David Cameron will want his own people in such a key role. I think he was appointed to kind of help unite a crumbling Tory party. Because of the fact that he was Cameron's opposition. But I just don't see that he's done the right thing here. And I'd love if you interview him to ask him what his thinking behind it is.
I'll see whether he'll do it. He's not doing that many interviews at the moment, but I'm sure that's going to start at in the next couple of weeks. We'll have to see how it goes. A good point. I don't understand what he thinks he's going to do either. And I'm absolutely amazed that these poxy politicians. And I'm disgusted at those people in Northern Ireland for doing that as well. I mean, they sold out. They were going to vote against it, and had they, the government would have lost this vote. And then because, obviously, whether Gordon Brown admits it or not, he offered the politicians of Northern Ireland all sorts of encouragements, and they decided at the last minute they'd vote with them and take them.
I heard you mention your friend Mr. Galloway. He had a bit of a pop at his good friends all in Northern Ireland that he said he stood by and thinks they've now turned their back on him. And as you say, he's got a penchant for going over the top.
Poor old George. Well, listen, I have to take responsibility for getting George into the media, I think, as far as radio is concerned anyway. Yeah, and, well, he's argumentative and everything else, so I have no problem with George. I think George sometimes gets a little overexcited, and I know for a fact he knows nothing. We were having a discussion one day, and I said, "What are you talking about tonight, George?" He said, "I'm going to do the environment." I said, "Well, what tack are you going to take?" He said, the usual tack. I said, "But those facts are wrong." "Are they?" he said. "I don't know anything about it. Tell me what you think." But then anyway, he's gone with the majority saying, "Oh, it's terrible, we're having global warming," which of course is a lie. We're not having global warming at all. In fact, this planet has been cooling down for the last 10 years.
So he just wants wanted to go on and stir it a bit, but...
Yeah. But then, you know, he's probably going to go back and become an MP. Well, he is an MP, isn't he?
I think he is. I think
did he get into the London Assembly? I wasn't really watching at the time. I had other problems.
I can imagine. I don't think he did. I think it probably would have been much more highlighted. I know someone from the BNP did, and they wouldn't even let him in the building day one. But there was no follow-up on that because of, other events which you got involved in.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Nice to talk to you. All right, speak soon. The James Whale Radio Show on Play Radio UK every Tuesday from 6. Tell your friends where we are. You can get me through my own website at jameswhaleradio.com. And a lot of people want to ask me about what happened and why I left and all that sort of stuff. I have a paperback version of my autobiography is coming out later this year. It's got an extra chapter in, and I think you can already order it. If you go to amazon.co.uk, you can order it. It's called Almost a Celebrity. It's published by Michael O'Mara, and it will be available from, I think, August. So if you want to order it beforehand, please. And in that, I explain what happened. Now, let's talk to Fat Stevie. Hi, Fat Stevie.
Hey, James. Good to talk to you. Congratulations on your psychic powers.
Thank you, Fat Steve. I can see you. You're not that fat tonight, are you?
Oh, no.
Why are you so dark, Stevie? I'm looking. You see, we've got a link-up call. And it's nothing racist at all. I didn't say why. And even if I said why are you so black, it's not racist. You could have said because I was born that way. It's because of the screen. You look to me like a pink European person anyway.
Oh, well, I am a bit.
Yeah, you can see. Can you see that at home? I'm just showing people on my screen here what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing quite a large dollop of. Actually, have you got your shirt undone?
Well, see, I have an orange shirt.
Oh, that's okay. I thought it was skin. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, Holland's playing Romania today, so
who gives a shit? I don't care. I mean, I never care. That's one of the things that used to bug me about the other place. They're always cutting my show off because of bloody football. I don't care.
You don't like football?
I hate football.
You're an Englishman, James. Why do you not like football?
Shut up. God, it's only little yobbos like you, Matt, that like football. If I were you, I'd shut up. People who've been to Magaluf on bloody holiday. Go and do something with your acne on your forehead, for goodness sake.
Leave that alone.
Go on, go and do so. That means you've got bad food.
No, and you have a long fringe.
Well, in that case, wash it every day. Honestly, sit there.
I don't know why I come on here, just to be abused.
Well, that's why you come on here. You like to be abused. You like bend over and you like to get a good kicking up the arse, don't you? Right. Sorry, Fat Steve, I'm taking time out of your call. What? Are you wearing headphones as well?
Yes, that way I can hear you.
Oh, right, okay. You got headphones on. Are you talking on the telephone too, or not?
No, I'm on Skype, and I've got my little microphone set up.
Do you know I'm going to get a headset like that. That's a lot easier to do it, isn't it?
Well, actually, I mean, I've got a whole studio here.
Oh, have you? Maybe I'll come.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come to your place.
Yeah.
I was just reading a wonderful magazine in America called Talkers for talk radio hosts in America, and it's a huge industry in America, as obviously you know.
And there are some huge people in it, like Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh. Do you know a friend of mine called Doug Stephan who does a program called Good Day USA? And he also does the talk radio countdown at the weekend.
I don't really listen to a lot of radio. I listen to everything over the internet.
Yeah. Well, I think most of it, it's going to be where it is. It's going to be in the future, isn't it? I mean, why pay all that money to broadcast the traditional way when you could set up your own studio like you have in your bedroom?
Exactly. It's my basement, but
Is it your basement?
Yeah.
Well, you see, we don't have so many basements in Britain. It's an American thing.
Well, yeah, this one wasn't finished before I decided to turn it into a recording studio when we moved here.
Where are you, by the way, Fat Steve? I'll ask before I forgot.
I'm in Atlanta. I lived in New York for 38 years, had a 2-bedroom apartment, and then we moved down here last year and just, I opened up a little local recording studio.
I mean, in Atlanta, in Georgia, nice and hot, and I imagine it's quite steamy at the moment, very high humidity.
Hot as, yeah. And we drove out to South Carolina last week. Cost us $100 each way.
Oh, good. Well, it's about time the bloody Yanks started paying a decent amount for their fuel.
And it's funny, having lived in New York, I didn't have a car for 4 years. So, like, when I first stopped driving, gas cost 99 cents a gallon. Now it's like $4.20 a gallon.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. Good. I can only say good, because, you know, I used to get really annoyed when the Americans used to say to me, oh, we pay we pay $1 a gallon, or whatever it was, and it was like 50p for a gallon. We're paying a quid.
I mean, it's still cheaper than you, but I would say we pay for a gallon. We spend $1 for every pound we spend.
Well, you know, and the reason a lot of the reasons is the stupid war that Bush took us all into.
Yes, and, you know, I wasn't exactly for that.
I hope the American people are now totally against allowing the American government to start trying to go to war with Iran or anywhere else.
I don't think we were ever really for it. You know, none of us likes war. I'm one of those people who thinks, though, that, well, it's like, you know, an antique shop where they have a sign that says, if you broke it, you buy it.
Yeah.
So I do feel sort of, Iraq.
Well, I think, I don't think we can just walk out and leave those poor people on their own now. I mean, we've ruined the country. George Bush was talking about bombing people back to the Stone Age. And I saw a documentary the other night about how hard life is there and how people are living basically in tents on the roadside in many cases.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's a shame. And I do hope that Obama wins the election, but I hope that he does the right thing in Iraq and proper reconstruction.
I mean, I hope so too. But I can't. The thing we've had to put up with Bush being over here this week. You know that there's a huge demonstration. Thousands of people demonstrated against him in the centre of London. It didn't make a lot of news, which was the interesting thing. And I saw a couple of police reports, and the paper yesterday was full of pictures. The police just wildly lashing out with truncheons, metal truncheons, hitting people on the head who were getting too close. It isn't acceptable in this country. We do not have people behaving like that. We don't want Bush here. If he's going to come to this country and the people of this country don't want Bush here, he can sodding well stay out.
Yeah, he is a bit of a lame duck over here.
He's so unpopular that they're so frightened someone's going to try and bump the silly bastard off that you couldn't even get into the capital city. They're closing the roads down. They're sending these big burly policemen around. Bush brings all his bloody bodyguards over here. We don't bloody want it.
Well, I noticed he avoided Amsterdam as well, or avoided Holland, you know, the most liberal.
He went to Belfast. They closed Belfast for the day so he could go in and come out again and ponce around.
And to think how popular President Clinton is over there.
Well, listen, if you can do that with a cigar, you'll get the thumbs up from the people in this country.
Yeah, more than the thumb, I suppose.
No. Don't be smutty fat, Steve. Listen, I got to go and take a break, but just before I do, a friend of mine, Susan, who may well be listening, she doesn't like me swearing too much. I've got to remember, of course, she allows her kids to listen to that. I think that's partly child abuse. You shouldn't let children listen to this show. What do you think of breastfeeding in public?
Well, it depends on how thirsty I am.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's nothing like a good pair of tits out in public, I know. No, but
I suppose I don't mind it because of the way I was brought up, people in my family.
Yeah, exactly. How can anybody get upset about it? And luckily, we've now had to have someone's, laws have been passed, I think, or so that people can breastfeed. So women, I mean, there are a few guys who want to try, but women can breastfeed in public, and surely there should never have been any argument.
I just don't understand it. I mean, I may be American, but I just don't have those thick values that...
Well, what they do in Britain, if a woman, quite often, a woman is breastfeeding, particularly in a department store, they'll ask her to go and use the toilet. My wife would always say, "You go and eat your own food in the toilet." Yeah. My baby's not. Yeah, whatever. It's always middle-aged women, dried-up middle-aged women who get upset about breastfeeding.
Yeah, we had a problem on a plane. A woman was told not to breastfeed her kid on a plane.
What, the baby's supposed to die of starvation because somebody's offended?
She was told to go to the toilet on the plane.
Oh, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sometimes I stay and look, and sometimes I don't. You know, it depends how I feel. Anyway, listen, take it easy. Good to talk to you, Stevie.
Sure, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. This is the James Well Radio Show. If you want to join us on these subjects, you want to start something else, feel free. The lines are open. The number to ring, that was a Skype call. You could Skype us at play.radio.uk if you're on Skype. You could email me at studio@playradio.com. We haven't done any emails yet.
No, we've got a few come in as well.
Yeah, we've got a lot there. I don't know how I'm going to get through them. But if you make it closer...
Well, I can do, yes, I can do that.
I can read it. Oh, that's better.
We should do that after we've paid the bills.
We're going to do that. And if you want to ring me, it's 01243 55 60 60. What's the number?
01243 55 60 60.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, more great deals from 14travel.co.uk.
All this month, we have 2 great deals for holidays to Marmaris, Turkey. Stay in our 3-star bed and breakfast Hotel Honey from £159 per person, or our all-inclusive 4-star Hotel Grand Ideal from just £299 per person. All rates include flights, transfers and accommodation, with child prices from £99. Terms and conditions apply.
For more information, call 1for Travel now on 0871 664 1405 or visit the website at www.onefortravel.co.uk.
Find out how your business can reach over 3.5 million clients right now by emailing sales@playradiouk.com or call 01243 556 285. playradiouk.com. Internet radio your way.
Broadcasting live to the UK. News, information, entertainment, and the best music from the past 40 years. This is Play2UK. James Whale. Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Live and unleashed. The James Whale Show on Play2UK.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
Okay, welcome back to James Well Radio Show. A lot of people coming in and saying they would like us to get Louis Theroux back on the show. We'll get Louis Theroux, Dr. Theroux, who investigates I can't even myself think, hang on. Who investigates the Nostradamus, that's right, the latter-day Nostradamus, and we'll do that. And Ronald Wineland, who, Matt, you're chasing Ronald Wineland, aren't you up?
Yeah, I've still not heard anything back from him yet.
Yeah, it's because the end of the world is coming. He's an end of the world prophet, very important man.
Probably a bit worried about coming on a show with so much to prepare for.
Well, and I got an email here somewhere, I don't know where I put it, from a guy in Australia, I read it out earlier, who said I shouldn't be so rude and take the piss out of him because he's obviously on the ball and knows what's going on. So if you want to suggest a guest in the future, all you got to do is email me at james.whale@playradio.uk. playradio.uk?
During the week, yeah.
Yeah. But if you want to get an email read out on the programme like we're going to do now for a while, this is what you email me at studio@playradio.com. Now, if you want to watch the live camera, and the microphone's right in my face most of the time tonight, that's a bit better. If you want to watch it, then you can do it by going to
nttbs.com. Stands for Not the Tommy Boyd Show.
Because it isn't.
It's not.
Because it isn't the Tommy Boyd Show, but it used to be the Tommy Boyd Show, but Tommy Boyd's now working for the BBC at the moment.
No, not the BBC.
Oh, isn't it the BBC?
He's
I thought it was.
original, no. He's original.
Oh, right, okay. Well, he changes all over the place. Yeah. Good old Tommy. Magpie. Now, it is, again, give us this.
nttbs.com.
nttbs.com.
Do you like it phonetically?
nttbs.com. 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 Got it. Okay. So it's the first 100 people who tune in there.
Roughly about 100 people who tune in.
It's a limited, but because we haven't got the bandwidth on there.
No, but we are working on it slowly but surely.
Good. Okay, so there we are. You can see I've got a nice close-up at the moment. I'm not looking quite as good as I do on Bid TV, but I do take a very good.
What do you use on your skin?
I've always used baby oil and lotion, and there we are, the whale teeth, and the. It's not bad actually, is it? Really?
That's all right.
I've no makeup on tonight too.
Yeah.
I'm not doing Bid this week. I'm doing it next week on Friday, Saturday. Next week, not this week. You'll be able to see me on Bid and watch the makeup. Got some great gizmos there. Do you know we had an MP4 player on there? Fabulous MP4 player. You don't like MP4 players?
MP4 works on a compression that so badly rips the quality out of the music that if you play it loud, it sounds awful.
Well, this MP4 player does movies and videos and everything, and it does sound good. It does sound good, and it's that size, all right? It's all screens about that size,
right.
And we were selling them off for about 22 quid. Now that, you can't grumble at that, can you?
No.
Very nice, very nice. Yo Whaley, let's do some emails. Yo Whaley, I go a little bit closer here. Hang on, just a little bit. Move the camera. Okay. Right, here we go. I have read some posts on your forum on the above subject. Please check it out. Okay, what's the above subject? Yo.
It's about this guy reckons that 2012 is the year the internet ends.
Oh, right, okay. This really needs to be discussed on your show to help raise public awareness of the threat to our freedom from governments and corporations who want to control the internet. Pete in Bradford. Can they do that?
Well, I did a little bit of research into this. I asked a couple of people in the know, and basically what it is, the government or some powers that be may well at some point try and make the internet subscription only. So you would pay for a subscription like you do with your phone, but you're only available to use Google and Amazon and eBay in your subscription like Sky. However, the product of this will be the internet too, which is what they're planning anyway, which is going to be faster. Now, that's what I've been told, so I wouldn't quote me on it, but I don't think it's... I think it's just a load of hype.
I do too, and I think that this, I've read that email already, so move to the next one. James, I have a Wi-Fi radio. You need broadband. You can use a router or plug it into the wall. Check it. Has receiver software. Yeah. You can buy them for as little as £50. Mine was £200, but I paid extra for twin speakers and the famous brand name. Linda must buy one. I get 6,000 stations. It's the way forward. Steve Marshall, Gosport in Hampshire. Hi to all those of you listening on Wi-Fi radio as well. It is so much better, isn't it? Great. I'm pissed off with the BBC and their coverage of the Irish EU vote. Did you see the awful Jane Hill? Now, I like Jane Hill. What's wrong with her? We actually invited Jane Hill into the studio a few years ago. She's got David Coulthard's jaw. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Almost in tears, she was, because the Irish had stuck two fingers up to the EU political elite. I don't think she would have been. The BBC have been pumping out disinformation over the Irish vote. For example, they claimed that 1% of the EU population had made a decision for the 490 million people of the EU. But for starters, that 490 million includes millions of children. And secondly, in most cases, a handful of corrupt politicians have made the decision for their people in other countries. The BBC also claimed that the reason the Irish didn't vote for the Lisbon Treaty was because they were either drunk or didn't understand. Well, that's a lie, I'm afraid, as well. Martin in Ashford, you really can't tell lies. That's wrong. Well, would you sign something you didn't understand? Exactly. I agree. But, you know, I have to be honest, I think the BBC's been getting a little bit of stick and doesn't deserve it for that. Let's go to somebody who probably knows more, our regular friend from the other side of the Irish Sea, Sizemorg. Hi, are you there?
Hello, James.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I can hear you.
What would you like to ask?
Well, I thought that we had quite good coverage, I must admit, in the media over here of the no vote from Ireland, much as I'm sure our government would like us to have ignored it. What do you think?
Well, I know the reason for it, and it's all down to Alex Jones and the We Are Change organisation that started up about the 9/11 atrocity.
No, I'm asking you, why do you think the people of Ireland decided to vote no to the Lisbon Treaty?
Because We Are Change Ireland had a tremendous campaign, which I helped out on, to get the word out to the people that the Lisbon Treaty was a complete and utter travesty of justice. It brought in the death penalty, it brought in what do you call it, the draft or whatever you call it, and various other things. And We Are Change Ireland fought a fantastic campaign and got the word out. 853,000 people in Ireland changed the course of history for 500 million in Europe.
And the Irish government, as far as I'm concerned, and I saw this particular story, I think it was on Sky News, almost said they weren't going to take any notice of the vote. They'd have to think about it first.
They did indeed, but they were beaten hands down. 8-1 was the vote, even though it's been spun the other way on the mainstream media.
Yeah. Well, no, do you think it has been spun the other way? Because I don't think it has. I think it's obvious that the Irish did the decent thing, as far as I can see, and voted against the Lisbon Treaty. The Lisbon Treaty would be all bad for all of us.
Oh, absolutely. It's a terrible thing. And I mean, France and Holland voted against it, so they changed the name of it and tweaked it a bit here. But even Cowan, the new Irish Prime Minister, he hasn't read it.
Well, yeah, some say that he may not understand it even if he does read it.
Well, he probably doesn't. He's a throwback to Neanderthal, that man.
Well, any views on George Bush going to Northern Ireland and the way the entire place came to a standstill?
Another travesty of justice. The whole country was clamped down. You weren't allowed to open your window if it overlooked the route. Cell phones were forcibly turned off, and people lost fortunes in businesses along the routes.
It's amazing, isn't it? This home of the free, land of the brave, except, of course, where the American president happens to go.
Well, this is it. You know, it's a travesty of justice for the world. It's not just America. America dictates terms for the world, and America is going to be a police state very, very shortly, if it's not already.
Oh, I think it is probably already. It depends. If Barack Obama gets in, maybe there's some hope. Can you just leave it there, Matt? You keep flipping around. I can't control myself. What? I'm trying to read out one of these emails, and you keep moving
sorry,
it.
I thought you had a phone call. I was just trying to sort it out while you...
Oh, right, no, I was reading it while I'm speaking to... I can do two things, Sizemore, at once, you know. I'm multitasking here.
You're a woman.
You can multitask. You must have a female gene.
I have, actually. I am very in touch with my feminine side, as people know.
Good.
That doesn't mean you can walk behind me. Thank you, Matt.
If you drop your hat, kick it home.
Yes, exactly. Be very careful of Matt. I've been very worried about the way he behaves.
I also wanted to mention our First Lady, the moronic Iris Robinson.
Oh, good, yeah, because she is a prat of the first bloody order, isn't she?
Absolutely.
I did have a go at her last week, I think. Probably not enough. I probably need to have a go at her more often. Can you hang on just a minute? Don't go away.
Sure.
I'm going to bring in another call on here as well. Hello.
Hello.
Who's that? Oh, it's Vicky.
Hi. I nearly choked myself with some water then. I was just taking a gulp of water.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Say hello to Sizemore from Ireland. He's on Skype. You're on an ordinary phone, and I'm in the studio. That's good.
Oh, hello, Sizemore.
Hello, Vicky.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to hear your voice.
It's nice to speak to you too. I was just talking to you on Skype, actually.
Oh, were you? Could you talk to him on Skype?
Yes.
That was before I got you on Skype as well, I suppose. You just...
No, I was talking to him on IM on Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he lives quite near where my grandmother lived, so...
Really?
Yeah.
All right, that's not...
I don't think he knew her.
Right. If she is, yeah, she's trying it on with you, Sizemore. Be careful. She'll try it on with anybody. Listen. Just before... Listen.
you know, every time I ring, it's just a barrage of insults.
Yeah, hang on just a minute. Don't stay there. We'll talk in a moment, all right?
Okay.
You stay on there. Let's talk about Iris Robinson, the wife of the First Minister, who looked particularly uncomfortable with George Bush. And really, if you're going to wear a light-coloured suit, Robinson, don't wear one that when you do it up makes it look as if it doesn't fit you, because you look pathetic.
He looked like a moron.
He did look like a moron, didn't he? Bless him. It's not his fault. I've met him. He's not a bad bloke, actually. He's quite pleasant, but they all are when you meet them. Iris Robinson suggested that if you were homosexual, she knew a good psychiatrist who'd had... how did she put it? I forgot how she put it.
She has a man working for her who is a psychologist who often treats homosexuals, as she likes to refer to them, and has converted quite a few, so she says.
She thinks that you can...
She can help them.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything?
Convert. She used the word convert.
Yeah, convert them. She thinks it's a psychological problem because she's so stupid and thick she doesn't realise that your sexuality is born with you.
Absolutely.
And they of course are very staunch Christians. This is the problem. And he refuses to distance himself from it. So presumably he feels the same way.
Well, I would imagine his religious thinking would bear an awful lot on that. Your previous guest from Strasbourg, was it? Did mention something at you standing and could you employ your wife? I thought that was rather good because Peter Robinson, Iris Robinson, and all of their children run the DUP.
Keep it in the family.
If you go through any of the emails or anything like that there, it's Peter Robinson's eldest son runs the information. And if you do anything for promotional work, his other son runs that.
Well,
so they're all being paid by the poor taxpayer.
Well, you're going to have so much money swilling around in Northern Ireland since you decided, or they decided, to help out the Labour Party and get their detention with no trial for 45 days through.
How the DUP voted for that, I will never know. They brought in internment here, and we had 30 years of turmoil because of it. And
they forgot
the 42-day rule. Sorry to interrupt you. The 42-day rule in England is only it's a wedge under the door. It's goes from 42 to 72 to 92 indefinitely.
Absolutely, and people will have as Nigel Farage said earlier, of course, the control of this is in Strasbourg, and we are losing, by the day, powers in this country. All right, my friend, listen, got to go.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you for accepting my call, James, and bye-bye, Vicky.
Bye-bye, Vicky. Stay there, Vicky. Haven't finished yet. I was going to do a couple more. I was going to take a break, wasn't I? I was going to do that last email that I thought I quite liked that one.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to get rid of Sizemore.
Did you? All right, okay. I have never seen you in person. This is from Peter Collins. He says he's never seen me in person, but I watched you on Big TV on Saturday night, and I have to admit you look one right hard case. That's not very nice. I think I look quite welcoming and quite warm and quite cuddly, don't I, Vic?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't like to bump into you in a dark alley if you was in a bad mood. Apart from that, your suits are very smart. There they are. Thank you. Peter,
I still haven't caught you on Big TV.
Have you not?
No.
Not this week, because I'm going to Freddie Starr's 50th, 50 years in entertainment. Yeah.
Is it an audience with type thing?
Well, no, it's in Manchester, so I'm going up to see him, and I'm going to say a few words, I think.
Oh.
Maybe I'll get him on the show for next week.
Do you think?
Well, I could on the phone, yeah. It's a question of whether he'll do it. It's whether I can control him to. You
don't have to worry so much now.
Well, no, I don't worry about that, but I'm just sometimes he goes off in sometimes in a world of his own. He may well be listening. Sorry, Freddie. See you on Saturday. But next week, Friday or Saturday, I'm on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I thought you were on Friday, and I actually tuned in, and you weren't there, and I was like, what?
I think
a very short change.
Oh, I think I was on between 4:30 and 7:30.
But I tuned in at 4:30.
Well, I was there. What are you talking about?
Well, I didn't see you. There's a guy that's on there, and I don't know his name, but he was on there this afternoon because I watch TV and Price Drop a lot. It's better than watching Jeremy Kyle, let's face it.
Well, everything's better than watching him. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Although I do have a little bit of the occasional viewing of Jeremy Kyle as well. So.
Obviously, yeah, I can see you on that in the near future. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. But anyway, I was watching. There's this guy, and he was on it today. And I said to him, I remember talking to you on your previous station and talking about Bid TV. And your mate, was it Andy that was in the studio at the time?
Oh, the boss of Bid TV, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I know somebody who also works high up in Bid. Well, I don't.
You know lots of people, don't you, Vic? It seems that there's something strange. I don't.
No,
do you work for the government?
PTA at my daughter's school, and I know him because his son's in the same class as my daughter.
Right. Well,
and I help with the school fate and stuff sometimes.
Yeah, there's something very strange here. You know everybody. You know, you're on every radio station. And just fascinating.
No, I've only been on LBC, on this one, and on Talk Sport.
Yeah.
So not every station. Although if it's a talk station, I'm on it.
Are you?
Well, kind of.
Yeah,
Although I've never been on the BBC one.
You'll be calling up Vanessa in the morning.
No, I won't.
You might be.
But no, I won't.
Are you sure?
Absolutely positive.
If I was doing it, you would, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, if you were doing it, it's a different ball game, isn't it?
Yeah,
but I wouldn't phone up Vanessa Phelps. And, I phoned George Galloway the other night.
Oh, you are missing me.
Oh, I am missing you. Actually, I haven't phoned Talk Sport very much at all, really.
Really?
Recently. Yeah.
Oh,
so, it's just not the same. So, but anyway, we'll get off that.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, I'm going to go and play some commercials now, so we'll maybe talk later this evening. I know I'm here for until 10. You'll probably ring back again, won't you?
Oh, when you start making horrible comments about me, I'll probably ring back.
All right, Vic, thanks for that. If you want to join us, 6 till 10, the new home of the James Whale Radio Show. It is Play Radio UK. You can join us by calling 01243 55 60 60. Matt, am I keeping you awake?
No.
What is wrong? You're yawning tonight, Matt. What is wrong?
I'm allowed to yawn. It's been a long day.
I told you to stop getting in quite so early when you're going to be here late. This is from Patricia. Says, sorry, I won't be able to listen to your show tonight because I'm watching football. Nice of her to apologise. I think people should have... what's the point of watching this epoxy football match tonight? I'm sorry England does not take part this year, but I am sure next time they will be back. Football is not the same without the Team England.
Well said.
Well, why bother to even email me about it? I wonder. Oh, that's better. Who's done that?
Sounds like he's gone.
Luke?
I'm still here. It wasn't me. I'm letting Skype automatically adjust my audio settings. So.
Well, it's not doing you any favours, mate.
Okay.
Take off.
I'm adjusting them myself now.
All
Is that any better?
Yeah. I think you have a dodgy mic. Have you got a cheap microphone?
Probably.
Yeah. All right. What can we talk about then, Lukey baby?
I just noticed that yourself and Fat Steve had a couple of positive comments for Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Not so keen on him myself, but his opposition isn't much anyway.
What you want the old bloke who can't lift his arms above his shoulder in there?
Not really.
No, who do you want? Hillary? You don't want Hillary in there. Surely you don't want Hillary running the world?
I thought Bill done a pretty good job, and I think he could direct quite well.
No. I don't think Hillary can direct. Listen, I think what's bad for the United States is dynasties. And I think you've had the Bush dynasty, and I don't think you want to start the Clinton dynasty. I think you need somebody fresh. You need somebody new. You need a change, and I think Barack Obama will be the change you need. Hopefully. We might all be wrong.
You've just said exactly what everyone else I spoke to has said. Oh, I think it's about time we need a change.
You do? Well, now, you can't do any worse, buddy.
I remember back in 1997, there was a very same, we need a change, and look what we got.
Well, I agree, but I never agreed we needed a change back in 1997, by the way. But I think we are in danger of not learning from our mistakes. And one of the things we have done, I think, is realise that if governments are crap, we should get rid of them. I think John Major was actually a very good Prime Minister and grossly underrated.
I agree. I thought he was a very good Prime Minister, except for the people surrounding him.
Yeah.
Let him on big time.
All right, listen, you're going to have to, Luke, I'm afraid you're going to have to try and sort something out with that Skype, because it's not coming across terribly well, and I really want to talk to you more, so try and sort it out, and maybe give us a ring back a little bit later on. Hi, who's that?
No, they've come through on the wrong lines.
How can they come through on the wrong lines?
Because the first three are for one number studio, and the next two are for the next number studio.
Oh, right. Did I cut somebody else off, then?
I hope you've not cut Ben's call. He looks like he's gone.
He's gone. He's not there. Now look here. I can't see it now. Here's the phone. Hang on a minute. Well, that's not bad, is it? Here's the phone, and I want to get some more calls on.
There you go.
And there's one there. Look. So if I put my finger there, I should be able to connect with you. If you're watching the camera, let's see if it works that way. You're on the James Wells Show. Hello. Who's that?
Oh, hi. Am I out? Is this live now, James?
Yes, it's live now.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know how it worked. Yeah, how are you doing, James? You alright?
I'm alright, who are you?
My name's Carson, calling from London.
Clarkston?
Carson! Yeah.
Like
I've been listening to you for years, James.
All right,
I've
man.
Never phoned you.
Where are you in a car?
No, I'm actually in a phone box in West Kensington.
And how are you? Are you listening to the programme tonight or not?
Yeah, I was listening to it earlier. And I decided to come out and give you a call for once.
Could you not give me a call? You haven't got a home phone or a mobile?
You know, that's what I'm phoning about, James.
Go on.
I'm phoning to tell you that I'm one of these people who doesn't believe in getting myself into debt.
I agree, it's a good point. I've never managed to achieve it myself, but there we are.
Yeah, my grandparents always taught me if I haven't got it, I go without. And if you look at the whole culture now,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm phoning out. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining or moaning, but to be honest with you, I'm kind of pissed off with the whole culture of this country.
I know how you feel, Carson. I think a lot of us are.
It's just greed. How many people do you know they've got 2 houses? How many people do you know have got like 3 cars? How many people go on holiday 3 times a year?
Yeah.
It's this whole culture. You know, nothing's changed. It's about the Joneses, keeping up with your neighbours.
Yeah.
Keeping up with other people.
What do you do?
People are prepared to get into debt.
What do you do, Carson, that you don't have any debt?
Well, at the moment, I'm teaching. I'm a teacher.
Yeah, but surely being a teacher, I mean, there's getting in debt and there's being in touch. I mean, obviously you're online.
Yeah.
But could you not get a Skype phone? Then you could... I mean, how do people contact you? Surely work has to contact you from time to time.
Well, yeah, I have a mobile phone, but it's, to be honest with you, it's pay as you go.
It's pay as you go?
Pay as you go, so I don't use it.
Yeah.
If people want to contact me, they phone me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've done that for a while. I don't have I don't have a voicemail on my phone. I tell you why I don't have a voicemail on my phone, everybody, because as soon as you have a voicemail on your phone, lots and lots of calls go to voicemail.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay more to get them back.
And I tell you, James, I know this is not going to be a very popular thing, and maybe I don't sound very popular tonight, but I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe, from the bottom of my heart, that Gordon Brown is paying for everything that Tony Blair has been doing for the past decade.
I think you're absolutely right. He is, but then it isn't a question of Gordon Brown is as culpable as Tony Blair is for what he did.
James, this is the point.
Gordon Brown allowed Tony Blair to have the finance to do what he did, including going into an illegal war in Iraq.
But Mr. Whale, this is the point that we have all conveniently forgotten.
Go on.
Throughout the whole 10 years of Tony Blair's reign, there was always, it was acknowledged that there was a rift between Brown and Blair. Brown never supported Blair, but he had no choice.
He had every choice. He could have done what David Davis has done.
I'll tell you something, Mr. Whale. I genuinely believe, Gordon Brown, he's lost a child.
What do you teach, Carson?
I teach science.
You teach
Chemistry
science?
Teacher. Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's not the most exciting subject in the world, I know.
Yeah. And what age do you teach?
They range from 12 to 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why are we doing so badly in this country with people learning sciences?
Well, basically, I think the whole attitude, James, if you want my personal opinion, if you go into a school now, again, it's this whole culture. The teachers are more interested, James, in promotion than what they are in educating children. And you know what promotion means in a school? Going along with all this left-wing, wishy-washy politics. As long as you do everything the children tell you...
You're very political. I wouldn't have thought a teacher in this day and age could be quite as politically...
James, there's going to be a revolution in this country very shortly.
Yeah, well, I don't think there is, but there's going to be a change, and I think the change will come at the next election. I think if people do what I ask and go out and vote for somebody other than their sitting candidate...
Absolutely.
They will change. There won't need to be a revolution. We will have revolutionised politics by kicking out every single member of Parliament.
But you know the next problem that we'll face?
Well, the people we put in won't be much better, but we'll get rid of them in the next election after that.
Yeah, but the next problem is people are so stupid that when things do go wrong, you know who will get it? Immigrants.
Well, I don't think people are that stupid, and I think the media, I think there are quite a few stupid people, but I think that's because the media have allowed them to be encouraged. Carson, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for that. Who else is on the line there? Hi. Hello?
Hi, James. It's Luke calling you back.
Luke, sorry, listen, you stay there, matey, and we're going to come and talk after we've taken a commercial break, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, talk to you in a moment.
If you want to increase your profits, go the extra mile for your customers, and bring loyalty to your business, then you need Play in Store. In-house or online, Play in Store is your personal, made-to-measure music and marketing tool. As part of the Play Radio network, we are experts at creating the perfect radio station for your customers, in turn delivering an increase in sales, staff morale and brand awareness. Go to playinstore.co.uk.
For perfect personalised cards for any occasion delivered through the letterbox, go to playradiouk.com/moonpig.
If you've ordered band t-shirts online before, you'll know that half of the time the shirt you want isn't available. Or you end up having to wait for what seems like months because the site you've ordered it from
has to order it in from someone else, who has to order it in from someone else, blah blah blah, etc, etc.
Well, Play Radio has teamed up with Loud Clothing to bring you the best in branded fanwear.
We can get our hands on ultra hard to find US tour merchandise and offer it exclusively to you.
Go to playradiouk.com now and click on the Loud Clothing banner to get started.
And he went, "Don't tell me what to do, you're a racist." And I went, "I'm not telling you what to do." His name. I said, "I'm asking you to move your arm so she can mop up the drink." Meanwhile, the guy sitting next to me has started on him and said, "Look, you know what? You can't start branding the term being a racist around because it's far too easy to call someone a racist just because it's something that comes out of your mouth. But in this day and age, that term sticks. Even if it's not true."
Not the Tommy Boyd Show with Matt and Stu. Sundays from 7 p.m. UK time, only on Play Radio UK. The following commercial will be heard by 3.3 million people and cost nothing.
Here at the Brand Group, we can create marketing that'll build your business, whether it's for print or internet. That's your logo, stationery, brochures, ads, leaflets, exhibitions, direct mail, websites, email, newsletters, print and distribution. For all your marketing solutions, call the Brand Group now on 01444 470077 or check our website www.brand-group.co.uk.
If you want the chance to win valuable advertising, then enter your company into the Business Brainbuster. Just email your details to studio@playradiouk.com.
James Wales. Silence was never an option.
I don't know. Occasionally I can be quiet. Apparently I'm not. Mrs. Whale was moaning about the fact I was snoring last night. Well, you know, got a bit of hay fever. I don't know. Didn't deserve being kicked. in the ribs in the middle of the night, that's for sure. Right, we're talking to Luke in... where are you, Luke? I've forgotten. In the US?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Whose Skype phone wasn't working very well, but there we are, not to worry. Okay, Luke, hit me.
Yeah,
your rhythm
you
stick.
can't beat a good old telephone.
No, you can't. So where did you come from? You sound like you've got a West Country accent.
No, I come from Tunbridge Wells.
Oh, that's right, Pembury. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we last...
my accent's been kind of polluted over the last 6-7 years. But I try and listen to you and as much English talk as possible just to hold on to it.
Okay, so what's happening in the US then? You want Hillary Clinton to win? She's out of the picture, I'm afraid.
No, but there is a third candidate, Bob Barr, who's a libertarian candidate. He's interesting, and then there's Ron Paul as well, another
Ron Paul,
libertarian.
He's the guy. He's been trying to get in as the president of the United States for a couple of times now, hasn't he, Ron Paul?
I think he's tried. I think he's tried before. He's actually a Republican candidate, and I think he's actually given it up now, and they're going to hand it over to McCain. But he's interesting.
Well, McCain would be appalling if you had McCain as the next president of the United States, and there'd be a total world war tomorrow.
I can't disagree with you.
I would think, to be honest with you. I certainly hope not, anyway.
No, but the other candidate, like I was saying to you earlier, it just smacked me in the face the other day. It just reminded me so much of when Mr. Blair was coming into power, and he was known as Teflon Tony because nothing could stick to him, and it's just so similar to me.
Yeah, I think we forget, very easily we forget. Tony Blair had made loads of mistakes, did all sorts of rubbish, and none of them stuck. Hopefully Barack Obama's coming from a completely different place. He's not as, or doesn't pretend, as far as I can see, to be as smooth and as sick-making as Blair.
Oh, he's very slick. That's why people like him so much, because his speeches are very impressive. Even though I don't like him, I have watched a couple of his speeches, and I was very impressed with the way he delivered his speech and what he had, not in what he had to say, but just his delivery and how he carries himself. He is impressive.
I suppose.
Unfortunately, his policies are not.
What policies don't you like about him?
He's bought into the global warming scam, lock, stock, and barrel. He's gonna tax. He's gonna tax us to death.
Well, then he is stupid.
Climate-friendly politics. Sorry, James?
Well, they're also, if he's done that, then he's barking bloody mad, because the environment has to be protected, but what you do first of all is you stop them cutting down the rainforest. You stop them cutting down the rainforest by redistributing some wealth to that part of the world. But the world is not going to be shaken. Well, no. The world is not going to be destroyed by the human. It may be a little shaken. And I like to use this analogy. I like to think of the world as a dog, all right? And think of mankind as fleas. And eventually, the world will get fed up with being bitten by the fleas, and it will shake us off. The dinosaurs
the world is going to be still here a long time after we've been
absolutely
It's been
absolutely
here for
right.
4 billion years, and it's going to be here a lot longer.
Yeah. But what I can't stand are the lies. And I would actually say to anybody who wants to find out more about this situation, go and find Nigel Lawson's book, which the title of has just escaped me. But Nigel Lawson, our former Chancellor of the Exchequer under Margaret Thatcher, has written a book recently, came out, which showed the other side. After Al Gore, the big fat bore, did his film, which was just bloody propaganda, in my view. Nigel Lawson has written a very learned book, and I think it's well worth people reading.
Mr. Gore actually endorsed Barack yesterday, so that's a good reason not to vote for him.
Well, that's a shame, yeah. What a shame. I mean, Al Gore must be one. Go on.
What gets my goat up about the whole global warming scam is what gives them the right to take our money so we can pollute, if that's what we're actually doing.
No idea.
What are they going to do with our money?
Yeah,
that's going to make the world so much better.
Yeah, they haven't answered that question, and when they answer the question, I'll be interested, and then maybe I'll listen.
Yeah.
You know, in the same way that they are trying to control everything we do. It's all a question of control. And what the you know, you can call it the New World Order or whatever you like, but what the politicians want, and it's obvious, they want more control. They want more control over your life, and they want more control over my life. And that's what they're trying to get.
Yep. That's why I'm kind of looking at these libertarian candidates, because they're all about smaller government, and you go about your business and don't do anything illegal, we'll all just be fine.
You see, I don't trust them either. I think the only way we can make this thing called democracy work, and I don't even know if democracy is the panacea that it's supposed to be, is if we take an interest in it. And whilst the vast majority of human beings are lazy and they can't be bothered or think it doesn't make a difference, then these politicians, whether they pretend to be libertarian or not, will continue to control us.
Yeah, I agree. It's I'm kind of interested in what you said about running for David David's spot. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, we'll see. That'll be an interesting story. Is it making news in the States or not?
No, the news over here is pretty dire. I'm not sure what the news over there is like. You can kind of pick your flavour of news, but it's all the same garbage, but it's dressed up to however you want to hear it. But you still miss the big issues.
We still have a very, very controlled media outside the internet. We have very few channels, and compared with America, and we have an enormous amount of control as to what they can say. And unfortunately, a lot of our media is run by complete and utter wankers.
I got one last interesting story for you. I was just perusing the internet last week, and there was, like, on the front page of Yahoo, there was a story about fuel strikes in Europe reach epic stages or something or other. So I clicked on it, read about it, thought, oh yeah, it's really kicking off down in Spain, and then went to the BBC website to see if they had the news. Could not find it. I had to search the BBC News website to find the story.
Yeah, very little. I mean, the BBC are in trouble for not apparently reporting the news in Scotland or Wales. The BBC have got to a situation where they think the only news worth reporting is what happens in the capital city.
I used to like the BBC. They used to be really good 10, 15 years ago, but
I think what
happened.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. It's the people who got into the media and the people who run the TV and radio stations, by and large, that are just not very good. They've got no real talent. They all are frightened stiff of losing their jobs. We get crap on the TV. We get crap on the radio. You know, thank goodness for stations like Playradio UK, and thank goodness for TV companies like Bid TV, and I'm working for another company called Press TV as well. These are companies that are thoroughly independent in many cases and are prepared to sort of do something a little different. But, you know, the majority of people who get into the media are not prepared to do it. You know, you get a few... No, you don't get any. You know, they're worried sick about getting themselves into trouble, so you get nothing interesting. You know, you get programmers.
Can you plug the Press TV again? Because I tried to find it the other day and could not find it at all.
PressTV.com.
Okay, I will. I found that site and I searched for you, but I couldn't find you on there.
Okay, well, I do a show. I've been doing a show recently called The Epilogue, which is a book discussion program. Last week we did Craig Younger's book, which is called The Fall of the House of Bush. It's nothing to do with sex either. The Fall of the House of Bush. Craig Unger, quite well known in the States, I'm sure you will have heard of him. And if not, you should have done.
I'll look him up.
Take it easy, Luke. Nice to talk to you. If you want to join us, anybody out there tonight, call me. This is the number 01243 55 60 60. And remember, if you want to watch the real-time camera, you can. This is how you get to it.
You go to www.nttbs.com.
Do it again.
nttbs.com.
nttbs.com.
That's right.
Nora, tit, bullshit, .com. Is that right?
You keep a serious face to look at me saying that.
Yeah, it's your funny little northern accent. nttbs.com. And then turn off your media...
Yes, if you're already listening to the stream without the video, then you need to turn that off because the video comes synced with the audio.
Yeah, that's all very good. Right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with you right after this.
Women give lots of reasons why they keep smoking when they're pregnant.
My mum smoked when she was pregnant and I turned out all right. If I try and stop, I'll stress out and that's worse for the baby.
But there are lots more reasons why you should stop. Because every cigarette you smoke damages your unborn baby, reducing the blood flow through the placenta for 15 minutes. That's why the NHS offers free support to pregnant mothers and their partners who want to quit smoking.
I've stopped because it's better for the baby and me.
For help and support to go smoke-free, call the NHS Pregnancy Smoking Helpline on 0800 169 9169 or visit www.nhs.uk/go-smoke-free.
Now, more great deals from 14travel.co.uk.
All this month, we have 2 great deals for holidays to Marmaris, Turkey. Stay in our 3-star bed and breakfast Hotel Honey from £159 per person, or our all-inclusive 4-star Hotel Grand Ideal from just £299 per person. All rates include flights, transfers and accommodation, with child prices from £99. Terms and conditions apply.
For more information, call 1for Travel now on 0871 664 1405 or visit the website at www.onefortravel.co.uk.
Broadcasting live to the UK. News, information, entertainment, and the best music from the past 40 years. This is Play2UK. James Whale.
Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Live and unleashed. The James Whale Show on Play2UK.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
It's the James Whale Radio Show till 10 tonight, okay? If you want to join us, you know the number 01243 55 60 60, 01243 55 60 60. Front page of a lot of the papers, the 5 paratroopers coming home in their coffins. Nobody from the government there to welcome them home. I don't think any MPs were there at all. I think it's disgusting. I think it's despicable and appalling and disgusting. What do you think? Give us a call, 01243 55 60 60. Oh dear, terrible story. Did you see this one? A boy aged 9 whose twin sister drowned after their family's canoe capsized had implored his father to save her first. Ian Clayton, a television presenter, was able to rescue his son Edward, who was clinging to a branch on the River Wye in Wales, but his daughter Billy was swept away in the current. When I got to Edward up the river that day, he said, "Save my sister first," Mr. Clayton told the inquest at Worshipful. What a terrible, terrible situation. My heart goes out to him. That is appalling, isn't it? Also, still continuing news of Bush and Brown. Brown pledges troops and calls for sanctions in stand against terror. What sanctions does he honestly think is going to stop terrorism. He doesn't think for one moment, does he, it's going to make any difference at all. When strolling into history, it may help to have dinner with those who will write it. Oh dear, sounds like a pissed off journalist, doesn't it? But, you know, Blair and Bush together, two of the most uncharismatic people I think I have ever in my life seen. If you want to join us, you can email us now, studio@playradio.com. Just about to do some of your emails as well. Before I do that, during the week when I'm not here, you can email me here at james.whale@playradiouk.com and maybe suggest some guests. We've got Danny Dubois, psychotherapy and counselling. Oh, really? That's a bit of a problem. He said, I suggest a guest for your show, Professor Chris French, who is a fascinating expert and speaker on psychology and the paranormal. Psychology and the paranormal together. I think that's a good one. We should have fun with him.
That's actually a woman.
Who? Chris French?
Danny.
Danny?
Yeah.
Have you spoken to her?
Yeah.
Oh, how have you spoken to her?
She's phoned in the Sunday night show every night.
Danny Dubois from France?
She doesn't sound French, though.
Okay, all right. There we are. You can have a look at that. And this one from Gary, who says, John Ronson is a guest. John, I know, and he would be a good guest, so maybe we can fix him up as well. And I'm not sure about this. We used to have guests on Neil Heron and Barry Siegel who know how to get you off parking fines, which is good, but sometimes I get a bit bored with that. It's once you've done one, you've done them all.
How do you get off a parking fine?
Oh, we better get one or either or both of them on one night, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. I tell you, we'll be having on... Uri Geller's coming on the show. We're going to get... Derek Akora will be coming on the show as well. Hopefully Derek Akora will be coming on live at some point. We have to sort that out. What we need to do is get him a Skype phone, don't we? That's all we need to do.
Yeah.
Get him a Skype phone, and then he can do it. So we'll get Derek Akora on, and we've had, of course, David Icke.
Yes.
And we've had Nick Pope, but I think Nick Pope we need to get on a little longer. And so if you have any suggestions, please, by all means, email me at james.whale at...
playradiouk.com.
playradiouk.com. Good. Right, now, where can I find... This is back to the emails. Where can I find Vicky's picture? Why would you want to find her? She's a babe, an internet babe. Honestly, she's not. She's spotty and she's hairy. We've seen the picture. Isn't she? Not what you would, you know. She's all right to listen to, but you wouldn't want to look at it. What?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I wasn't offended by either the voice or the picture.
Well, you're gay, so it doesn't make any difference. Right, okay, let's take another one. You're moving through the emails for me on the screen.
Yeah.
Well, I can only see one. I just this minute read it out.
You didn't read this one?
Oh, right, okay. Why don't you switch off the studio webcam when you're on a break? Seeing your filings...
I think that's meant to be fillings.
...was not a pleasant sight. David in Leicester. Oh, thank you, David. Okay. What else we got here? I love my football, but the best thing is listening to the Whale and watching football with the sound down at the same time. David Green. Good on you, David Green. He's desperate to know the score. You know the score, don't you? Because you've been checking it. You don't?
I don't know the score.
All right, somebody tell us the score.
I'm hoping Romania are winning.
Why would you want Romania to win?
Because that would send the Italians out.
Why would you want to send the Italians out?
Because a friend of mine's a big Italian fan.
Oh, right, okay. Is that your fella?
If you said that to him, I don't know what he'd do.
What's his name?
Dave.
Dave, your fella. All right, hi, Dave. Is he listening?
The terrible thing is... Well, the terrible thing
Dave
is...
and Matt
his
are an
mum's
item.
Italian and his dad's Scottish. So he's an Italian-Scottish.
That's difficult.
He's got an attitude and a fist to throw with it.
I have a friend, well, he'll get done if he throws a fist near me, that's for sure. You know what I carry in the back of my car? I have a friend who's half Iranian and half Irish. And he's a great comic. We should get him on the show. How come we, the public, were not asked if we wanted Bush in Belfast? Who decides? Barry. Good point, Barry. Obviously not you, Barry, but your lackluster leaders. Hi, Whaley. Here's an idea. Notice tonight that you keep reading the number and email address slightly wrong. What?
You do.
Why not? Do I?
Yeah.
What do I do?
You keep missing out the UK on playradiouk.com and keep getting the 2 and the 4 or 2 and the 3 wrong.
Oh, I can't. I'm dyslexic. There's nothing like being lesbian. Why not record it so that you get it right? Chris in Huddersfield, that's a good idea. Can you record now? I'll do it now. I'll record it now. Can't you do it now? Okay. Right, this is the right number. It's 01243. Unfortunately, I used to live in an area where the number was 01423.
Right.
All right? Yeah. 01423. And for 20 years, I lived in an area where it was 01423. Right. So it's just difficult. 01243 55 60 60. And the email number address thing is studio@playradiouk, all one word, playradiouk.com. And I get confused. That's because I'm old and, you know... You can Skype us at play.radio.uk. We have a few regular Skype phoners, but if you've got Skype, just call us at play.radio.uk. Yep. Play.radio.uk.
Send a request to for us to add you to our contact list. We shall do that almost immediately, and you'll be able to just double-click on it and call us up. And
that's a good idea. You never told me that before.
Well, that's all you have to do, Skype. Obviously Google Skype, which is SKYPE, and then install it on your machine.
What's it stand for?
I don't know. I don't think it stands for anything, to be honest with you.
Can you plug your ordinary phone into the computer or not?
You can't, but for about 15 quid from probably Amazon, you can get a USB phone which you'll plug in. It's a VoIP phone, and that'll plug into your computer and give hopefully crystal clear quality.
Or for a bit more, you can get the headphones and the microphone attached.
That's right, yeah. Or if you like Fat Steve, you could build a recording studio and do it from there.
Yeah. Right, now, let's see who else we got here. Lots of love, but doesn't tell me who it is. Need you to explain the dodgy... dangly thing again, please, because I'm a bit non-techie and didn't quite understand when you explained it before. Right, okay, now, do you want to do that? Because you'd be better at that.
Well, if you hold it up to the webcam.
I'll hold it up to the webcam. This here, let's have a look. Okay, this here is the dangly thing. Can you see that? It's like being on Bid TV. Look at that. You've got a little thing there. Let me look up there. There, that's the thing that goes in. This is the machine itself. Now, what you do with this is only for the 100 people watching. It seems a bit of shame, but there are a lot more. So here we go. This is the dingly-dangly-dongly thing, which you plug in with this into the back of your computer. Now, when you've plugged this little gizmo, which is smaller than a mouse, looks like a mouse with a tail on, doesn't it, really? When you plug this into the computer... I have to look up there to see if I'm getting it in there. Right, okay, when you plug that in, then you can, on the screen, it's called a Belkin, B-E-L-K-I-N. If you look, there's a little LCD screen there. And here, there's 2 arrows, one up, one down. What you do is presumably you turn on your FM radios first in the house, or an FM radio.
Well, no, you turn on your computer first, start streaming Play Radio.
Right, okay. That I would have assumed we were at. But okay.
Well.
All right, so you're listening to the Whale on the wireless at Play Radio UK. But with this dangly-dongly thing here, stuck into your computer, then you can get this coming out of your radio. And the way you do it is this.
Were you asking me?
Yeah, well, you're the expert.
You switch it on, you set your desired frequency, hopefully one...
Now, hang on. You turn it on, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You set your frequency on this?
Yes.
So what, would you set it to 94
Well, that would depend. If your local radio station was on a 107.1 frequency on FM, you wouldn't set it to 107.1.
Right.
You would set it to something that was nowhere near the stations, basically.
So what you need to do is set it to a number on here that you don't think a radio station has.
Yeah, one that bears no interference.
Exactly. So would you then turn the radio on and see if you got it coming out, and could you tune it in while you were doing it?
I would suppose you could tune your radio first, then tune the transmitter in. I don't suppose it matters either way.
All right.
But I don't know where your radio is. You might have to have it.
In a way, this is like a little Bluetooth system.
It is.
All right. That's what it is. And you buy... What is its technical term? It's a TuneCast. This is called TuneCast FM transmitter. Very good idea. I might take this home.
Well, Lee won't be happy with that.
Is it his?
He bought it from Curry's, yeah.
Did he? How much?
15 quid, I think.
15 quid. Why aren't we giving these away?
Watch this space.
That's what we should be doing, and it fits in there quite nicely, doesn't it?
Watch this space.
Yeah, look, that goes in there, like that. Oh, that's nice. I do like it when a plane comes together. Hang on. There we go. You can carry it around like that. You can take it with you, and it's all fitted in. That's all you need. And that's what it's called. I'll show it to the camera. Can't see it, I don't think. But anyway, never mind. Here we are. Why is a red thing buzzing around? Sometimes it's green, that light. Sometimes it's red.
Oh, I have no idea.
Got a call coming in. The James Whale Show, hello.
Joel.
Who's that?
It's David in Leicester again.
Oh, David, what do you want, mate?
Is this dingly-dangly thing you've got, is it any good if you've got a DAB radio?
No. Forget DAB. It's not the way forward. It's the internet is the way forward. Okay? Nice try. Hi, you're on the James Wells Show. Who's that?
Hello.
Who's that?
It's Stu.
Hi, Stu.
How are you? Is that James?
It's James, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just want to give you my support, James. Been listening to you for a long, long time now.
Excellent. So you're from Birmingham or Coventry?
Just north of Birmingham, yeah, near Stafford.
Stafford?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been taking good part in your forums as well on your website.
Oh, good man, yeah. Good
I don't know
man.
if do you ever read any?
I do. In fact, next Monday... Is it next Monday? Yeah, next Monday the 23rd, I'm doing a web chat.
Ah, right.
On, I've got a Facebook site. Is it a MySpace site? I can't remember which one. Anyway, I'm being asked to go along via that and do a web chat on Monday, so I am.
Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a look
at
out
midday. Monday at midday.
Midday.
As a matter of interest, if anybody is around Monday at midday. Forgot about that.
There will be.
Yeah.
Plug Playradio UK.
Playradio UK.
Gonna plug it on the web chat.
Of course, well, they all know. Everybody knows. But I will. And then Thursday morning I'm doing Sky News, I think, reviewing the newspapers on Sky News on Thursday morning.
Play Radio UK on that?
If I can, I will, yeah.
I've seen
In fact,
Sky News a few times, James.
In fact, what I'll do is I'll get them to put James Well, Play Radio UK, on the screen.
Now you're talking.
Eh? Okay.
Okay, thanks anyway, James.
All right, listen, Stu, thank you for your support, my friend, and please tell everybody you meet where I am.
Of course, I've got a few friends that listen. If you want to say hello to Russ in Lichfield.
Oh, Lichfield with the Marmite factory down the road at Burton-on-Trent. I used to, of course, in many years, anybody's read my book. You haven't, Matt, you should have done. I used to work for the BBC in Derby.
That's right.
Not a million miles from Leicester, Matt, you might be interested to know.
We don't like Derby.
Don't you? Why not?
The whole football thing, you wouldn't
Oh,
understand.
no, I don't. I never understand. Football is just moronic. I used to go along... I used to like Lichfield. It's a really nice, genteel place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice,
Yeah.
James.
I used to stop off for a curry in Burton-on-Trent on the way back.
Yeah.
Good little curry house I found in Burton-on-Trent.
Oh, you've got them dotted all over the country, I bet.
I have. I love curry, as you know. As you know. All right, listen, Stu, good to talk.
And you. Thanks, James.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, okay, listen, can you put back that email before I go to Eduardo?
I can, because Eduardo's going to want a horn and we haven't got one.
James, Nigel Lawson's book is called An Appeal to Reason. That's it. A cool look at global warming. Excellent little book. Have you heard about it on your show? I'm going to sneeze any moment. Hang on.
Look at the light.
Oh, that's better. What are you laughing at? Oh, that's very unprofessional. How could you do that? How could you do that?
I'm sorry.
Do you know when you sneeze, you get the hairs on the back of your neck stand up?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
before.
mine know. Do you know I've got a sandwich in the car? I'm feeling a bit hungry.
Really?
I'll eat it after I finish. I made my own sandwiches. Let you know that Nigel Lawson... Oh, hang on.
You just read that one and you've got...
I didn't finish it, did I? I sneezed in the middle if you go back. Yeah, I should think, go back. There we are. Think... That's not it either.
What was the...
Come on. Here we go. James Nigel Lawson's book called An Appeal to Reason, a cool look at global warming. Excellent little book. Have you heard about it on your show? Yes. Can you repeat the interview sometimes? Well, I did that on a previous radio station, but if I can get Nigel Lawson, hopefully I'm going to be interviewing him on Press TV about the book in the next couple of weeks, but hopefully we might be able to get him to do it on the phone. All right, another one. Let's go. Who else have we got here? Quick email to let you know I've been listening to you for longer than I can think. I remember listening to you in bed with an earpiece at quite a young age, so my parents didn't catch me. I'm bloody 35 now. I wish I was. Anyhow, just a quick note to support your loyal listeners. We'll follow you wherever you go. That's nice. Big Z. Briggsy. Peace to the world. Peace to the world, Briggsy. Peace to the world, my friend. It's 9 o'clock, nearly an hour to go. It's flown by tonight, hasn't it? You can catch up with my blog every day at jameswellradio.com. And on that we have The Thoughts of Whale, which I will do today, later. Eduardo, not in Paris, but in North London. What?
On the Skype.
Oh, on the Skype, yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, Skype.
Yeah.
But his bloody Skype
Yeah.
never works.
Hello?
Yeah, just about works. Yes! Buggerlugs.
Can I... Yes, old Ladyboy Holic is right. I do want a honk on a horn, please.
That'll have to do.
That is...
When we go, I must go and get a horn.
What is wrong with you? Like your trademark.
I know my trademark, but the previous place I worked at didn't give it back to me, and I can't be bothered to argue, because I've got stuff I didn't give back to them, so I'll go out and get another one.
I've got a bugle. I might send it to you.
Yeah, all right. Can you blow it? Don't answer that.
No, have you ever tried blowing a bugle?
Yeah, you have to spit in it.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's from the war.
Right. Were you in the Boys Brigade?
No, I found it in a charity shop.
Oh, really? Why can't I see you on a webcam, Eduardo?
Because it wouldn't be safe, James. You might come over all queer.
I won't come all over.
I value my privacy.
Really? Well, there's a picture of you on your Skype thing here.
Yes, but why would you want to see me anyway?
Mexican well, just to see if you're as stupid as you sound. Mexican music extraordinaire. What has Mexican music got to do with you?
I am the leader of a South American trio romantico called Los Nuevos Zefiros.
You're lying.
Absolutely not.
You play? What do you play?
I'm number one voice and number two guitar.
Well, let me hear a bit. Strum it.
That's in the other room.
Well, walk in the other room, go and get it, and come back. Go on, go and get it. This is too good to, we've got to have a little music. Yeah? Have you heard him play before?
I haven't, no.
Huh? No. You never noticed he said music up there. You probably thought he ate Mexican food, didn't you?
No.
No? All right, okay.
I said that if he gets his stuff together, I'll feature him on one of my other shows.
Oh, really? One of my other shows? Yeah. Getting a bit full of himself now, Matt thinks he's a producer big time here.
He is full of something.
He's going for program director, I've heard, a little later, but the program director's not happy about it. So you got your guitar. Hang on, you're not one of those who come around asking for money when I've been sitting in a restaurant in the West End of London, have you?
Depends whether I've been paid by the restaurant or not. No, we only do professional. We do the, Ritz and the Savoy and that sort of stuff.
Do you play the piano?
Yeah, I have done, yes.
You don't play the piano from time to time at a restaurant called Ciao Bella in Lamb's Conduit Street, do you?
No.
It's one of my favourite. I haven't been there since I got the boot from my previous employers, but I will go there in the near future because the guy Felipe, who runs it, is wonderful.
It's probably a mate.
It's a very inexpensive restaurant. I can thoroughly recommend it.
What's it called?
Ciao Bella.
It's Italian.
C-I-A-O. Yeah, but it's lovely. Bella. Have you ever met... yeah. Oh, there's nothing to stop me plugging restaurants I want now, is there?
Plug away, man.
I think I can do that. Can I,
Internet
Matt?
radio.
Am I allowed to do that? What?
Who are you asking?
I was asking him, but he's about as much use as a fairy.
Well, it depends which station, really.
Well,
a chocolate teapot.
I'm talking not about... listen to me. I'm talking about restaurants.
Oh, I thought you said radio station.
Oh, no, for goodness sake.
You plug restaurants to the man.
Ciao Bella, Lamb's Conduit Street, my favourite Italian. I've got a few, but this is... I like it because it's relaxed, it's inexpensive, you can sit outside.
You know when you do your restaurant plugs, right?
Yeah.
You used to do that. You used to do the curry houses a lot.
Oh, I love that. You got to listen... Go on.
When you wander back into them, do you get it on the old freebie?
No, I don't. Do you know there's nobody that feeds me free? And I would be embarrassed to do that. I have a little restaurant. My son has a little restaurant. And, friends come around. They wouldn't even, I would hope they would spend more than if they were in another restaurant. Just to show, it's a very, very difficult business to be in. The restaurant business is one of the most difficult restaurants. And I never go to these... the chains of restaurants owned by conglomerates. I only go to little ones. And I'm not going out so much now because I'm slightly brassic at the moment, but things have
credit
changed.
Crunch.
Exactly.
That's what I rang about.
Yeah, well, we'll get on to talk about that, but listen, do you like Indian food?
I love Indian food.
Okay.
I've got the world's best Indian food cook in my house.
Have you? Well, I am one of the judges of the Curry Awards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to know where to get the best curry, James?
Everybody thinks they know the best curry shop. Go on.
I'm telling you, somewhere this is where this is for the locals. This isn't for any English people.
Yeah.
This is Leighton High Road, a shop called Ruby's, and you go in.
Ruby Murray, the home of curry.
Oh,
and it's all
it's what?
And they scoop it out for you.
Yeah, well, sounds nice.
You have to go there. You don't see any white people in there.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's a slightly racist comment.
Put it
but
like
still.
that.
Right, give us a bit of music before we go on.
No, but it means it's...
You'll have to put...
I'm losing you. I'm cracking up.
Yeah, well, we know you're cracking up, but give us a bit of music before we... Come on.
Y volver, volver, volver.
Oh, dear.
I was getting into it, yeah, a bit Mexican. I was beginning to feel I wanted an enchilada or something.
I'm a champion of Mexican music. I come from a long line, a history of Mexican musicians. I'm the last one in London.
Are you? Well, give us a bit more music then. That's no good. I want to hear the guitar. I want to hear the sort of the Mexicana guitar-y.
It's very difficult when you're sitting at a desk on your own, but it's out of tune as well. Sorry. Anyway, musician union rate supply.
Yeah, go on, get on and play. I'm giving you publicity here. What more can you want? In fact, I would have thought that never mind about musician union rates. When you get a free plug on this for you and your band, I would have thought you would be in debt to me.
I'm always James. I've been in debt for you for years through your words of wisdom and your.
All right, all right, okay.
Non-musicians use the musicians union as a thing because they can't make it famous to get any PRS. So,
who wants to be famous?
Everybody.
No.
Everybody thinks they want to be famous, but
I don't want to be famous.
If you want to be famous, go in the jungle or the house, or suck up to Simon Cowell. There's a good way to be famous.
If I was famous, I couldn't buy Ladyboy DVDs off the Chinese blokes.
Yes, you could. Why couldn't you?
Well, you'd get sprung, wouldn't you?
Why would
you be in the papers? Your dirty secret would be out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ask Matt.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Matt's dressed up in Ladyboy gear tonight. Right, what did you want to talk about, Eduardo? Because I must get on. I mean, much as I love to speak with you, rubbish, as we do whenever you call in. What was...
I just wanted a big fat whinge about our economic climate. I have seen my income half in the last 3 months. To the point where...
Join the club.
He's an estate agent.
Yeah, he's an estate agent. Of course, everybody's loving the fact that estate agents are finding it difficult because they're such a bunch of cocky... I nearly used the C word there. I've got to really be careful.
Let me tell you something. I know 17 of my peers, colleagues, not from my firm, but from various local firms, have been made redundant in the last 2 weeks. There's people closing down left, right, and centre, and unfortunately, I'm the lone voice of if it was, petrol tanker drivers, people would be going up. People would be.
Yeah, but you don't really need estate agents because you can sell your house on the web, or you can just stick a sign outside the house yourself. Most houses get sold because somebody sees a sign outside.
It doesn't work.
It does work. That's how people see how. Every house I've bought has been because I saw the sign outside it.
But James, you are a different man.
Don't start. And anyway, listen.
You are a man with bollocks.
Yes, and well, most men do. But listen, there is
handle the situation.
There is no doubt that it's not as bad as people say. There are people wanting to buy houses. Unfortunately, a lot of people haven't yet realised their houses are worth a little bit less than they were. But the thing about don't be stupid. But I'm
telling you.
Then houses are not worth half what they were. Don't be ridiculous.
Mark my words. Well, 6 months from now, we will be. This is my theory, right?
Well, your theory is rubbish. And listen, your theory is your theory is rubbish. This country hasn't got enough homes for people. It didn't build enough homes. One thing we are overstuffed with is estate agents. Every flipping town you go into now, all you've got is everything closed down and bloody estate agents. It's realigning. We don't need so many estate agents. In fact, estate agents, we're better off without most of them. Anybody can sell a house.
Now, my theory is this, right? They want us in the euro, yeah? that this Labour government is corrupting our economic climate to the point where we will be on our knees in a couple of years' time, begging for us to go into the euro. We'll be saying, Gordon, please give us back our luxuries. We'll take the euro. It will be the panacea for all this pain.
Hang on, calm down. You'll have a heart attack. I said this myself about 2 years ago. I said, look, I tell you what, we will join the euro. This is what they're going to do. They're going to make it so that our economy, and everybody laughed a couple of years ago, no, don't be silly. I said, look, what they're going to do, because we didn't go into the euro, what they're going to do is they're going to make it so difficult for us not to enter. They're going to start saying to us, listen, if you're worried about the inflation rate, if you're worried about the economy and everything else, let us join the euro and things will improve. And that's exactly right. That's exactly what they're going to do. Got to go, Eduardo. Lovely to talk with you. Talk with you again. Thank you very much indeed. Let's talk now to who? Hello?
James Whale?
Yes?
This is an old friend of yours from a long time ago. And
oh, my God!
Do you know who this is?
Yeah, I do. Oh, God.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue now.
No, I know the girl. Is she still there, or have you lost her?
She's still there.
Is she still there? Bless her cotton socks. This is Nigel from Temple Fortune.
You've got it. I'll tell you what, it's good to hear you back on the air, my friend.
Well, I've been here for 6-7 weeks, Nigel. I've never really disappeared. It's just getting people to realise where I am, because certain people are trying to pretend I don't exist anymore.
Listen, listen, James. I found where you are by a guy called Aaron Barshak. Told me about this only the other day.
Aaron Barshak,
He said, James, I said, where? Because I did send you an email to your website. I hope you got it.
I've had literally had thousands and thousands, and I must thank everybody. And we haven't got round to doing. We're sort of the website is taking over my life at the moment. But Nigel, I am so glad I have found you again.
Well, I'm really pleased to see, because I'll tell you what, James, I've missed you, and my nights driving around London town dealing with gloom and doom and happiness and whatever it may be isn't the same without you ranting and raving and having a good old chit chat on the telephone and making my life a lot more pleasant and easy, my friend.
Well, you know, they thought they could stop me, Nigel, and the powers that be, these mysterious people, thought they could get me off the air, but they're not going to keep me off. That's for sure.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, mate. But how have you been yourself? You been well, James?
I've had a few rough, you know, a lot of people thought I was ill again and everything else, and I was really, really annoyed the way they did it to me, and which I have written in the paperback version of my fabulous book, Almost a Celebrity, which comes out later this year. I have actually written the story of what happened and how it happened. I'm not even sure what happened, because nobody's ever told me. But I was just dismissed over the phone.
Oh, that's disgraceful, isn't it?
But I'm now back here, and we will be back here, I'm sure, more than Tim from Liverpool's just come up there. Do you remember Tim from Liverpool?
I do, and I remember your old friend from the Highlands.
I've never heard. I don't know that he's on. Well, it'd be good to have him on, wouldn't it? Let's see if Tim from Liverpool is there. Hello, Tim.
Hello, James.
It's Tim from Liverpool. How are you, Tim?
Hello.
Oh, he's gone again. He's on Skype. Do you know about Skype?
Yeah, I do know about it. I'm going to tell young Cleo to give you a bell soon, because she's at home tonight.
Hello, Cleo. Have you still got that fit woman?
Yeah, it's not. It was our 9-month anniversary of the weekend. Do you know that?
Hang on, is that Tim from Liverpool there? Again. That is Tim. Hello, Tim, I can see you.
Oh, you can see me, yeah? Evening, James. First time you've ever seen me, innit?
Hey, Timbo. Can you see me?
Oh, yeah, of course I can see you.
Fantastic,
I can see the top of the head. There's a lovely shine from that window on it. You need a bit of something on the top of the head there to stop it shine.
There we are, for people, not for Nigel and Temple Fortune, because you can't see a screen, can you, or can you, Nigel?
No, I think I've seen I think there's a webcam I'm looking at of you.
There is a webcam, but there's a live streaming webcam, and we've only got a limited amount of space on there for about 100 or so.
Is that you in the yellow bikini?
That's me.
Oh, I thought so.
That's me. And that was a shot for those people who were on of Tim in Liverpool. Tim, I'm going to come and talk to you in a moment, mate. Stay there.
All right, I will do.
All right. Well, he's having a fag. Look at him. I always thought mind you, he lives in quite a nice-looking place there. It looks quite clean.
I've got I think it's you're a producer sort of hanging over the screen at the moment with his earphones on.
Yeah, well, he's
cans on, as they say in your trade, the cans.
He's just gone. Now, Nigel in Temple Fortune is he's a news photographer. Not really a member of the paparazzi.
I've had a busy few days, James, I'll tell you.
With George W.
I did George W. the other day when he was in town.
Yeah.
As he arrived in Downing Street, and then I did the protest afterwards, and...
the protest didn't get a lot of press, did it?
No, there was funny thing about it was, James, the protest, or the protesters didn't manage to get as many people as they hoped at Parliament Square. There's, I think, about 2,500 people. They're hoping for about 5,000.
But they wouldn't let them all through, I don't think.
No. The whole of it was interesting. The whole of Whitehall was locked down at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I know.
The press who had to be in Downing Street had to be in by 6, or you weren't going to get in.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so we had to be in at 6 o'clock, and Mr. Bush arrived. Supposed to be there at 7 o'clock, but he arrived at about 20 past 7, so it's a bit late he was. Thank God it wasn't raining. And then we came out, and I met young Cleo, and Cleo was there with a little camera taking pictures of this, that, and the other, you know, and it was her first sort of time at an event with protesters. We went down to Parliament Square, and the protesters started to dwindle. But interestingly enough, there was a lot of arrests for the amount of protesters that were there.
I thought the police were very heavy-handed on the on the film footage I saw. I saw the Met Police obviously just hitting out at people with those metal batons they have, and
the asps. That's right. It's interesting you say that, because I was at one side of the police lines where the territorial support group were snatching people and arresting them, and some black guy got a real caning and was treated very, very poorly, and I got lots of images of that, which is quite a shame, because he got a bit of a...
And have they been... Yeah, but there's no excuse for the police to behave in that way.
No, there isn't. I mean, arresting and restraining someone is one thing, but arresting someone and kneeling on their back and being overly assertive is another thing. You know, I mean, let's face it, some people who are arrested are going to go relatively quietly, some are going to be a little bit aggressive and protest, and some are going to fight. And this guy, I think, was rather disappointed he was arrested. He wasn't fighting or overly aggressive from what I could see.
I'm, as you know, a big supporter of that. I think the police generally have a hard job, and I'm not a supporter of the community support officers, as people know. I think they're a waste of space. But I am getting more and more annoyed at the lack of professionalism by some people who are in the police who think that they can do whatever they want. I got stopped the other day, not for anything, you know, I wasn't even speeding, but just flagged down. And this spotty-nosed, spotty-faced copper said, they always do this, they said, get out of the car. I said, if you speak to me like that again, I'll put you over my knee and spank you. And his mate, much older copper, almost pissed himself. And in the end, the old guy said, look, you know, get off, James, all right, mate. But the young one he really wanted to have a go. And you don't need people like that in the police force.
No, you don't. I'll tell you something interesting. I think I've mentioned this to you before. I have a relationship at Scotland Yard on a press committee for better police and press relations, but I had a meeting only this afternoon. And I think one of the fundamental differences that I've noticed over the years, and people may think I'm talking rubbish, but I really mean this is perfectly true. And those who think I'm talking nonsense, please listen up. I think we're turning into a police state. And I think this started with Maggie Thatcher, who I've always been a big supporter of, but after the police were used against the miners, it all went downhill from then. And I think that since when Blair came in, the amount of power the police have is astronomical. Now look, they have a difficult job, they have a very nice job,
Couldn't
they
agree
get
with
paid
you
a lot
more.
of money for it, but there's ways in doing that job, and the difficulty is, James, is that when I go back to the States and make a comparison, the police in America are far more assertive. The difference is that there's no line of we are the police, you are the public. They mingle, they chat more, they sit in the restaurants and have a coffee and have their dinner, so they integrate more. Here, it's we are the police, you're the public, you'll do what I say, you're going to get nicked.
I mean, the fact is that occasionally the policemen in the States shoot people. Mind you, they do that here, don't they? What am I talking about? You're absolutely right. You know, I've got a mate who's a cop in Chicago, Mr. Blackburn, if you're listening. I haven't spoken to him for ages, and I must. And he would often go into cafes. I remember when I went there and hung out with him in about the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and I hung out with him for a few weeks in Chicago. And we were going to a little restaurant in Chicago called the Busy Bee. And it was like a greasy spoon, but not, you know. And all the cops would be sitting there with the guns slung over the back of the chairs and just chatting to anybody and everybody that came in. And there was much more of this kind of, we're just ordinary working blokes, if you like. than there is with the police here. And I blame this all on the commanders and the people in charge and the ridiculously stupid, in many cases, chief constables that we seem to have at the moment.
Yeah, I think you're right. And what's interesting about what you've just said, it allows the police to actually make contact with people. Apart from going to 911 calls in America, they can actually talk and sit with, have a cup of coffee, have a muffin, or have some breakfast, chit-chat, talk about football, talk about anything in the area, and sort of make people realise that apart from policemen, they are human, but just wear a uniform.
Well, listen, I need some publicity for the new show here at PlayRadioUK or at jameswhaleradio.com, whichever way. And do you think you can get me a little story in the Evening Standard?
Well, look, I'll do my best, James. Email me. If you want some free pictures done sometime, I'm your man.
Okay, well, you should come down here and do something. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I really wish you very well, James. I wish you good health to you and your family, and it's great to hear you back on the air again, my friend.
Well, you can get a little dongle that you can plug into your car, into your mobile phone, and it'll play the radio station through your car radio.
Oh, that's interesting. That's good news.
And you can get the same thing we've been talking about before. You plug into your computer, and it'll play it through all your radios in your house.
Well, that's good news. And I shall spread the word that James Well is back.
Well, and I shall
Play Radio.
I shall look forward to talking to you soon, Nigel.
I wish you good health. Nice to speak to you, James. I wish you good luck with your new show.
Thanks a lot. Bye,
Thanks,
Nigel.
bye-bye.
Say hello to Cleo. That's Nigel, member of the Paparazzi, a news photographer for the Evening Standard newspaper, and always there, and sitting, waiting, picking his face at this particular moment. Tim in Liverpool over there, picking his nose now. Do you know, I have to say, I have a friend called Sean Hudson who's an author, and he and Tim look almost identical, like identical twins, which is a bit.
He's that good looking, is he?
Yeah, well, better look. He hasn't got a beard. So just give me a talk. You've got sun coming through your window there, is that right? Or not?
No, it's evening here, definitely.
Is it?
Definitely.
Are you still in the City of Culture?
I'm still in Liverpool, yeah, the greatest city in the United Kingdom.
There seems to be you're not sitting on the toilet, are you? No.
No, I'm not, but I'll tell you what I have got. You remember that old chair that you used to have?
Yeah.
I've got your old chair, listen.
And what? It's a very small room you're in. Where exactly are you?
A very small room, is it? Yeah, watch this, right?
Go on then, come on.
Very small, how dare you?
Right, okay. That's... Alright, that's your big TV, right? Okay, well... Alright, it
So
looks...
how dare you? There's nothing small about that room. It just took me 2 minutes to walk across from the other side of it.
What about the other side?
Oh, well, I can't point the camera that way because that's
you
just
can't?
a complete total mess.
All right,
but I can show you something that will impress you.
Go on
You'll
then.
like this. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm watching. Go on. He's moving his webcam now. Yeah, well, a previous producer friend of mine would quite like to see that, I'm sure.
I'm sure he would, yeah. The rest of the room is like that.
Is it really?
You know what it's like with a webcam, don't you? You just put it in a nice little bit so everything looks perfect.
Do you never clean?
No.
That is disgusting. That really is disgusting.
It's not a man's task to clean, is it?
Well, how many, you live on your own, presumably, with a dog. I saw the dog.
Yeah, I do.
And do you take him out occasionally?
I take him out twice a day.
Good.
Twice a day. In fact, he went for a walk earlier on. He did his usual business. The old shopping bag full.
Yes, good. And you pick it up?
Well, yeah, of course I do.
Excellent.
But not with my hand. Usually I use a bag.
Well, yeah, I know, not with your hand, with your bag. Right, all right. Timbo, lovely to talk. I'm coming back to talk to you in a minute. You haven't gone. Stay there, because we've got to do this before we go any further tonight.
PlayTwoUK headlines.
The cost of living is rising. Latest inflation figures stand at 3.3%, with the Governor of the Bank of England saying it could reach 4% by Christmas. 2 men are facing life sentences for murdering a teenage boy in a case of mistaken identity. Michael Osunmu was shot dead with a machine gun as he slept in his bed in Peckham, London, last year. Osama bin Laden's right-hand man in Europe will be freed on bail within the next 24 hours. Outspoken preacher Abu Qatada won his fight against deportation from Britain in April. And the Tory party chairman's to be investigated for misusing her expenses. Caroline Spellman's accused of paying her nanny's wages with it.
You're up to date on PlayTwoUK. James James Whale.
Remember the 3-foot bowel movement, lady?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Stool.
Yes.
3 foot of stool.
3 foot of stool in one movement.
I've never laughed so much in my entire life as a 3-foot stool lady.
Or what about the orgasm woman?
There were so many. And the man who used to invent the hats that were going to keep the aliens away from him. He stole them, Michael, whatever his name was.
Or the guys who tried to grow back their foreskins.
Excellent. Oh, yes. And remember the people who regretted having the sex change operation?
Yeah.
That's a pretty drastic thing to regret, isn't it?
The James Whale Radio Show, Tuesday, 6 till 10 p.m. UK time, only on PlayTwoUK.
Welcome, world. The Whale is on the James Whale Radio Show. You'll be able to listen again, of course. You'll be able to listen again when Matt manages to sort it out and put it on. You'll be able to hear it, of course, on PlayRadio UK. You can hear it via JamesWellRadio.com. You can hear on JamesWellRadio.com. You can hear my daily blogs there as well. You can read what Mrs. Whale has been up to. Now, back to one of my favourite regular callers as well, Tim from Liverpool.
I'm one of your favourites now, am I?
No, not really. I just said that to make you feel... I just said that to make you feel better. You know, I'm welcoming you to the world. I can't believe that you didn't come on the show a little earlier because you spend your entire life on the bloody internet.
I've only just got out of bed. That's what's happened. I only woke up about an hour ago, so...
Really? I'm still a bit early. I think we'll have to readjust the time I do the show and make it a bit later.
Well, that's what's happened. I've got used to doing the night shift, you see, and this early afternoon, early evening. It's not me. I'm not used to this time of day.
Yeah. You're not usually up and out, are you, this time, or even thinking? No.
No, I'm usually out about 10 o'clock at night until about 4 or 5 in the morning, and then,
Where
bed.
do you go?
I stay asleep.
What do you do? I don't want to know. I
didn't hear what you said then.
I said, what do you do? Where do you go? But then I thought better of it.
Oh, no, I don't do much now. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a tiny little bit of the other occasionally, if I'm lucky.
I don't think you get very much of the other, do you?
Not at the moment, I don't know, but I'm always ready if Mrs. Whale wants to come out for dinner now that you're stuck there.
Disgusting.
I'm always ready to take her out.
Yeah. You've been reading
How
her
is Mrs. Whale, anyway?
She's better than she was. She was a bit miffed about what happened, but she's fine. If you read her blogs on my website, you'll know how annoyed she is.
Well, you don't need them, do you? You've got this now. What do you need them for?
I need everything.
You need the money, of course.
I need the money. I need the money. That's what I need. Well, I don't... Yeah, I need the money. I mean, it's... suddenly I was earning a reasonable amount of money one day, and then I wasn't.
Yeah,
so,
it was a shame, really.
It's a bit difficult.
Well, you managed to get the person in that you wanted, and that was all that matters, really, isn't it?
What did you mean by that?
What do you think you had? Well, you're a Tory, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're an old-fashioned Tory in reality.
Yeah.
And so you got the person in that you wanted, the Tory.
Oh, so that to be honest with you, that has got very little to do with it. And what was that?
Your phone.
Oh, is that my phone? Hang on, just
It's not me.
My phone. Hang on. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, man, what? Yeah, I'm on the air. What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, I'm on the air today. Yeah. Yeah. So are you now. Guess what I'm doing? I'm talking to Tim from Liverpool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very good. How are you? Huh? Oh. Yeah.
Oh, it's Sasha.
It is, yeah. You can hear him, can he?
I can hear him, yeah.
Say hello to Tim from Liverpool.
I can't hear him that well.
Can you not hear him now? Say it again. Shout louder. Hang on. This one might...
Loudspeaker.
Go on.
Hello, Tim.
Hello, Asher, mate.
All right, then.
Are you missing James, are you? You want him back, don't you? When are you going to start the petition round the office?
Hello.
Can you... You can't hear what he's saying, can you?
No.
He wants to know how much you're missing me.
It's terrible, man. But, well, I better let you get on then, hadn't I?
Yeah, I'd be very careful what you say if I were you.
Yeah. What am I on?
He's off now, isn't he?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the world is listening. The world is listening.
Well, I'll ring you tomorrow, man.
See you later, Bubba. Bye. 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 Yeah, it's a shame, you know, it's sad, because it's like, he doesn't know what to do now, which is a great shame, but we'll have to sort him out somewhere. Anyway.
Well, do you know, James, I haven't listened at all to that other station at all. I haven't heard it for weeks.
Yeah. I don't even talk about it.
No, I've not even listened to it.
Except I have written a bit about it in my book.
Have you? What, is this a new book? Yeah.
No, just the paper. You know, I know you wouldn't read the other one, so I had to bring out a paperback version of it so you would go and get it.
Well, I'm not going to buy it now. I'll borrow it from the library.
It's a paperback. It'll be a couple of quid. Don't be so manky.
Well, you've got to look after the libraries, haven't you? You've got to keep them in business. It'd be terrible if they all disappeared. If everybody bought your book, we'd have no use for the library.
This is a paperback, and listen, I need the money now. I'm in desperate need, so I need you to go out and buy the bloody book. Don't be so tight-fisted. For goodness sake, you've got a great big dog. Be about
How much is it?
What's wrong now?
I've just pulled that up. We've got another 10 minutes to go. I read the clock wrong.
Oh, right, okay. How much is it? It'll be about 4 or 5 quid, won't it? It's a paperback. It'll be nothing to you.
It's an expensive paperback at £5, isn't it? Well, isn't it in the bargain bin yet?
You bloody... Look, for goodness sake. I was feeling bad enough as it is. You don't have to really kick a bloke while he's down. I mean, hey, listen, I feel a bit sorry for poor old Ash there, you know. I just thought better of... I shouldn't have put him on there, should I?
Why not? They'll be too busy, all the executives, won't they? I mean, it's tea time now.
You never know, do you? I can't say anything about it.
Busy. James, listen, I need to ask you something. You know this Abu Qatar?
Yeah.
Is his name Abu Qatar, or is it Abu Qatada?
Yeah, Abu Qatada.
Ah, right, because they've been calling him for years Abu Guitar, haven't they?
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Now they've changed it to Guitarda.
Yeah. Well, they were going to change it to violin, but it didn't quite work.
Yeah, what do you reckon on him being released? Do you think it's good, or do you think it's a bad idea?
First of all, he in some way was responsible for getting some of the... Wasn't he responsible for getting some of the hostages released before? I can't remember the story now. But it's very gloomy about what they'd actually arrested him for. Did they arrest him for... You know this woman, the so-called terrorist poet, this girl, I mean, she's completely stupid and wrote completely ridiculous and vile poems. But then they suddenly locked her up for a while, and they've let her out. I think I'm right in saying that they weren't going to let her out. They convicted her and gave her a suspended sentence or something. I can't quite remember. But suddenly someone said, and hang on, you know, we can't start locking people away because of what they think or what they say or what they write, in a way. Otherwise, where is it going to end? Now, this Abu, what's his name? America wanted to extradite him back there to stand trial for terrorism, but there was no, as I understand it, and I could be wrong, there was no proof. There has been no proof that he's done anything. So this is the ridiculous situation we're getting in, and this is why people like David Davis are worried about this 45-day rule. Because
well,
Go on.
Sorry, what worries me about all of this is that they've got these fellas on trial in Guantanamo, and yet they've tortured them to get the information. Well, if somebody was torturing me, I'd tell them anything they wanted to hear, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think once the first fingernail's ripped off, I think that's it. In fact, I actually don't think...
It's unreliable, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is the Americans really or the American government. I think we have to be careful. I mean, you know, a lot of Americans listen to this program now on the internet. And I want to be at pains to say I don't think we have, you know, this is the same with the world. We don't have anything against people of the world, any of us, do we? We'd all, you know, if you're sitting down with an Iranian, you're sitting down with an American, you're sitting down with any sort of person at all, you're fine. The problem are the politicians, and it's about time that the politicians, they want to go to war with people. Maybe the politicians should be out there in front doing the fighting first.
Well, that's not likely to happen, is it?
Well, no, it's
That's
not.
never going to happen.
That's the problem. Hey, listen, Tim, got to go. Good to talk to you. Let's talk again, my friend. I'm here every Tuesday from 6 at the moment, but I think we're going to move it later.
All right, I'll spread the word, James.
Fantastic. Get on the internet. I'm doing a web chat, by the way, Monday at lunchtime.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You won't
on your website, yeah?
Yeah. On
JWellRadio.com.
That's it. You're very good. I might get you to broadcast my Liverpudlian bit. What? Just can you point?
Is it a paid position? Is it?
Oh, you're always wanting money, you. And you've hacked into everybody's bank accounts that I know.
I have never ever listen. I've had loads of people, giving me abuse about things like that because of you accusing me of being a hacker.
Yeah. You are a hacker. What are you talking about? You're the cleverest person I know with that sort of thing.
Anything like that in my life, that would be illegal. I'd never do anything illegal. I'm an honest person. Look at my face.
Now I can see you. Now I know exactly what to do and who to send the guys round to visit. Yeah. And have a look out that window. Can I see out the window or not? Let me have a look out your window. What do you look at? Move your... Oh, what Ponzi curtains. Oh, that's better.
I thought he said it was evening over there.
No, it's day. What's that old car over there, by the way, Timbo?
That's a 4x4 mini utility vehicle.
Oh, really? Is it yours?
Rotting away. Yeah, it's mine. It's rotting away in the garden there.
Don't you use it at all?
Commonly known as a mini moke.
Oh, it's an old mini moke, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 1960-something mini moke.
You're looking a lot better than you used to.
Well, you don't remember. You never seen me before, have you?
No, you told me that you weren't well some time ago, and you don't look too bad.
I wasn't. No. I've got kidney failure, as you know. But this is what I meant. This is what I meant to tell you. Somebody who used to work with you at the old radio station, he rang me up, and they've offered me if I'm a compatible person with them, then they're willing to donate me a kidney, which I thought was very nice.
Who did that?
And that's somebody that you work with. I'm a bit worried to say their name.
Why would they ring you up and give you a kidney?
I don't know. They like me for some reason.
Really?
Like me, yeah. They rang me up.
When was this?
A few weeks ago. They rang me up and said, "Listen, I've known you for a long time. I think you're an all right bloke. If I'm compatible with you, you can have one of my kidneys." And I thought that was a really decent thing to do.
Yeah, but if they knew how much you smoke, they'd probably think twice about it.
I don't smoke.
Well, you lying little shitbag.
I don't smoke at all. So you're not allowed transplants and stuff like that if you're a smoker. I haven't smoked for years.
You lying little toe rag. Good. Talk to you later, Tim. Thank you. You shouldn't use webcams and tell lies, you see.
Well, I haven't smoked anything. You've been seeing things again. You've been breathing in some strange air down there.
Yeah, you and Ash together. In fact, you look very similar to Ash, funnily enough.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Except you're older. Right, take it easy. Thanks, Tim. Good to speak to everybody else. You want to join us? I'll do it again. 01243 55 60 60. Got somebody on there. I think that was an old call, wasn't it? We should do so. Let's do some emails. Loads of emails come in. Should we take the break and then come back with the emails? I think that's probably a very good idea. Right, don't go away. We'll be back just after this.
If you want to increase your profits, go the extra mile for your customers, and bring loyalty to your business, then you need Play and Store. In-house or online, Play and Store is your personal, made-to-measure music and marketing tool. Using the latest technologies, you can create your own tailor-made music and messaging service, which until now has been unaffordable to everyone but the biggest businesses. Get more from your business by creating your own radio station. Go to playandstore.co.uk.
And he went, "Don't tell me what to do, you're a racist." And I went, "I'm not telling you what to do." His name. I said, "I'm asking you to move your arm so she can mop up the drink." Meanwhile, the guy sitting next to me has started on him and said, "Look, you know what? You can't start branding the term being a racist around because it's far too easy to call someone a racist just because it's something that comes out of your mouth. But in this day and age, that term sticks. Even if it's not true."
Not the Tommy Boyd Show with Matt and Stu. Sundays from 7 p.m. UK time. Only on Playradio UK.
Find out how your business can reach over 3.5 million clients right now by emailing sales@playradiouk.com or call 01243 556 285. Playradiouk.com. Internet radio your way.
James Wales. If opinions count, this man must be a mathematical genius.
This man is a mathematical genius. Take a couple of calls, maybe. But I want to do... Where did I put my glasses? Over there, right, okay. We need to do some emails. Thank you for those. Don't forget, if you want to email me during the week, you can email me by emailing james.whale at... playradiouk.com. Mr. Whale, have you got an audio version of your book? I haven't yet, and I am in discussions with people about that, and hopefully that will happen. One company I was talking to said nobody listens to audiobooks anymore. Now, I don't think that's right. And quite a lot of people who drive have these as well. And listen, so I am going to... If I can't get the distribution I want, then maybe I will do it as a download on my website.
A friend of mine listens to audiobooks because he has visual impairment and he can't read small letters. It's not actually a short or long-sighted thing. It's to do with light refraction.
That's not Dave.
No.
Okay.
And he uses audiobooks.
All right. So there is a... They reckon that audiobooks are something... But we'll see. I want to do it, by the way. I do want to do it. James, useful petition on abandoning the Lisbon Treaty is on the Number 10 website. The Irish referendum on the Lisbon Treaty has resulted in a decisive no vote. However, politicians across Europe are calling for the ratification of the treaty to go ahead, because politicians, I don't think, believe in democracy, in my view. The British government are planning to put the Lisbon Treaty to its third and final reading in the Lords next Wednesday, the 18th of June. That's tomorrow. I'm at the House of Lords for dinner on Thursday night. I'll tell you for why in a moment. This would complete its ratification in the UK. We believe that the Prime Minister should respect the result of the Irish referendum and abandon the attempt to ratify the Lisbon Treaty. I agree. David in Leicester, the DAB radio owner. Thank you, David. I'm at House of Lords on Thursday night for dinner because you know my charity for kidney cancer, the James Well Fund for Kidney Cancer. We have a Lord Howe has very kindly offered to put on a fundraising do for us where I think we've got about 60, 70 people having a dinner who've all paid about £100 each to come along to raise some money for my charity. What?
It's been a good suggestion in the Skype chat room that with the popularity of podcasts, you should just read the book yourself in sections and upload it to your website.
That's what I did say a few minutes ago. Perhaps I'll do it as a download.
But you might
the
not
same thing.
want to make money out of that. You know.
I have to make money. I have to live.
I've got to make money.
I was thinking of downloading, but everybody would say, well, you can't download because people just copy it and sell it.
That's right.
I don't trust. I mean, why would people do that? If I was going to record it for them, why would they want to do it?
It's too terrible, isn't it?
Chris in Bournemouth. Hi, Chris. Bournemouth's not far from here, is it?
No, hour and a half.
James, when can I download last week's show? I can't find it.
Well, as I said earlier, we've had the technical issues with our podcast host server, which should be rectified in the next day or so.
So will last week's show be lost, or will it still...
No, we've got it. We've got it. Oh, no, it won't be lost, no.
Yeah, because all the shows are archived, aren't they?
They are all archived.
Everything's archived. You can hear every single thing. You see that? Other radio stations do not do that. And it's always good. The David Icke interview a few weeks ago is archived, and you can download that and listen to it?
You can't.
Can listen
I've
to
not
it, not
separated
download
the
it.
interview for download yet, not until the podcast site's back up and running, and then I can separate all these things.
Sell it anyway and give it away. Did you get the article I sent you about the TV licence? I did, Chris in Bournemouth. Thank you very much indeed. When are you getting Nigel Farage and Ken in the Highlands on? Well, we had Nigel Farage on this evening, Chris, unfortunately, between 6:30 and 7, which was 7:30 to 8 his time, because he's abroad.
Yep.
And Ken in the Highlands, I'm waiting to hear. I'm surprised Ken hasn't got here yet, but I don't know if he's on the internet. That's the only thing. What else we got coming up here? Have I got another one, or I'm going to do a call?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I want another call. 01243 55 60 60. 01243 55 60 60. Give me a ring. James, I'm pleased. I have been trying to listen to your show every Tuesday for weeks, but was having a lot of problems. Well, I can now listen to you. I listen to you on Firefox instead of Google. Is that better?
Firefox is basically the leading competitor for Windows Internet Explorer. Operates in a slightly different way.
In fact, somebody was telling me last week that they were listening, and they couldn't. In the end, they just could not pick us up. They were trying to get us always, and they just couldn't get on.
Then that's their internet problem.
Is it?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay. That's for my friend Paul in London. All right, Paulie? Okay. He's listening tonight.
If anybody has any problems listening, feel free to email me. It's Matt with 2 T's at playradiouk.com. I do try and answer every email personally and talk each person through how to get it working.
All right,
and I've had some lovely emails saying thank you very much, so thank you to those guys who appreciate my help.
So if you're having trouble getting there's all sorts of little gizmos and things that can help you tune in better. And sometimes it's not just as easy as going to the site and tuning in.
No, it's not always just as easy, but as Lee was saying
it's getting easier.
It's getting easier, and we're going to put a page on the website that explains dongles, transmitters, and every which way you can listen.
That is such a good idea. That's a good idea. Alison Jordan in Thatcham, thank you very much indeed, Alison. When are you on Bid TV next? Not this coming weekend, but next weekend, because I'm away this coming weekend. But next weekend I will be there.
Now you've read these, I'm just going to bring up some new ones.
Okay.
The music's a bit slow.
We'll try and work it out. I haven't played any music tonight. Normally I have a little play. My favourite record of the moment, actually. I might play you my favourite record of the moment. Anyway, listen, how can we do a vote on this? We can't do a vote, can we? I need to give some stuff away, like we gave big TVs and stuff away on my last show with How Low, the reverse auction people, 1,000,000 to 1.
Oh, I hate reverse auctions.
No, I don't.
They're just money-making scams.
Yeah, we've got to make money. Well, we're in commercial radio.
Not by ripping people off like that.
Well, they don't. Hang on.
Most of them don't realise it costs them about £3 to enter every...
No, it doesn't. Stop now. Because they're friends of mine, and you could find yourself in a lot of problems. When we do stuff like that, right, okay, it's a thing to make money. And if people want to spend a couple of quid, 5, 6 quid, I don't know how much, it's up to you. It's usually about £1 a phone call, right? Somebody is going to win, for a small investment, a 48-inch screen TV.
Yes, and thousands of people won't.
Well, that's the way competitions are.
Okay, that's
enough.
What it is.
No, don't be stupid. You're patronising the listeners now. Yes, you are. No. You're patronising the listeners. Nobody expects to get something for nothing. We're not in free cuckoo land here. That's the problem. No, if this is going to work, listen to me, Matt, and listen to me well. If this is going to work, all right, you know, I know a load of people will come in and work for nothing. If this is going to work, it has to be professional and it has to make money. You will only get to do this when it's not making money for a short amount of time. You have got to make it commercial. And people have got to understand this is commercial. If you don't have commercial radio, the only radio you will have will be the BBC. And that's what we have to fight against. Glad that we found you again. Internet is the way to go. I'm in Germany and constantly listening to the BBC. 1 in the morning and your show now on Play Radio. Funny, I don't listen to the other one anymore. It's funny, they said their audiences haven't been affected at all, but there we are. What you said about the media today being nothing special, I agree 100%. Very clicky, too. I've been trying to get a job for years. It's not what you know, but who you know. Almost a family business. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Greetings from Hamburg. What do you do in Hamburg? I wonder what... Hamburg's one of those cities. I've never been to Hamburg. Do you know I've never been to Germany? And I'm quite well travelled, but I've never been to Germany. Jane, hi Jane. She says, guess what? The mainstream media ain't saying a thing. I wonder why. It's an interesting point, Jane. It's an interesting point.
The impeachment articles read out against Bush and Cheney.
I know. The impeachment articles are rather interesting as well. But we might be... I'll probably have something to say about that on my blog tomorrow, but we might do something about that next week. You are so right about estate... Oh, this is good. I hope you're listening, Eduardo, Pratt Features. You're so right about estate agents. This is from Eduardo. In our town, Gillingham in Dorset... Is that Gillingham? Yeah. In Dorset, we have 8 estate agents. All the other shops are either boarded up or charity. If we want to shop locally, we can either buy a 3-bedroom semi or a pair of second-hand stained jeans. Hey, Steve. Nice to talk with you as well, even though it's email. Right, 10 minutes to go. I wanted to see if we can't get a couple more calls on the show before we finish. The number to ring, 01243. Come on, you do it. Come on.
01243 55
No, sorry, no. I'm talking to my listeners.
Well, you keep looking at me, but you're looking
at the camera. I'm looking at the camera, okay. You know, if you're looking at us live on the webcam at the moment, phone me. 01243 01243 55 60 60. 01243 01243 55 60 60. Give us a call. Let's take a call, at least one before the end of the show if we can. James, I'm running a community radio. Here's a job for you, Matt. This is exactly the sort of radio you will want to work on, Matt, because that's the way your mind works. I am running a community radio station, and I'm meant to be listening to my studio output, but to be honest, you're more interesting. You'll be in trouble. This is from Chris. Anyway, just looking through the Radio Mag in their 10 years ago today section, there's a short article about you being voted Broadcast Presenter of the Year. They describe your programme as entertaining and sometimes controversial. Apparently, you beat off competition from Jeremy Paxman and John Humphreys, so congratulations. Anyway, keep up the good work, James. I've listened to you for years. I even was the proud owner of one of your late-night entertainment packs from your TV show. Do you know what they were?
No, but...
Used to give away condoms in a pack of late-night entertainment packs of condoms, so people shagging during the show will be safe. We should do that on this programme, because a lot of people shag while they listen to me. Essentially, it was a pack of condoms with your name on the box. What? They do. Yeah, that's it. We've got any Skype calls coming in?
No.
No? Okay. Gone a bit quiet on the phone.
Emails to get through.
All right, I'm going. Right, Stephen has sent this. He said, I would like to inform you that despite having a gay voice, so this is one from I'm a red-blooded heterosexual. That's Steve in Sweden, I bet you are. Call coming in. Hello, you're on the air.
Hiya, Jim.
Who's that? Turn your radio down.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm trying to mute it.
You're muted, that's good. The gay comment made me giggle, but at the same time, I'm so sick of hearing it. Well, he said effing sick of hearing it.
Goodbye.
Who's that?
It's this prick in Leicester with Dab.
Oh, for goodness sake, are you back again?
Yeah, it's a...
No, you're not for long, you're not. Right, okay, let's go back to the emails. David in Leicester's beginning to bug me.
Yeah, there's one of them on the Sunday night show.
Is there?
Yeah.
All right. Who've we got here? Nigel. Hello, Nigel. Thank you so much for asking and remembering Cleo. Any pics you need, give me a call. My pleasure. We should get Nigel to come down here and take some photographs.
Yeah, cool.
Of Playradio. You can email him. You've got an email from him there. All right? You'll sort that. Yeah, whilst you're prepared to work for nothing.
I only have to go through every single one of these emails again tomorrow.
Well, that was the one just there. Just take it. Print it off somewhere.
It'll come out in my inbox tomorrow, along with everything else, and I have to go
that's
through
all
them
right.
all.
Well, that's all right. You're a man who doesn't want to make money. You can do that. You can, in fact, you can work 24 hours.
Do I get to explain my comment on that or not?
No, I don't want to hear it
I'm not
because
allowed
I'm
an
annoyed.
opinion on it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Fine.
I was hoping that we were going to get them to spend a lot of money on the show. You've just fucked that up, really. Quite frankly.
We've got Skype call.
Yeah. We've got an ordinary call here. But it's Dave in Leicester.
Hello?
Yes, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Oh, who's that?
This is Phil. Well, it's not Phil. I'm going to hand you over to my friend Phil. Were you talking about a police state earlier? Tim?
Timbo. Thank you, Timbo. Right, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Who's the Skype call from?
Mr. Tubbs.
Mr. Tubbs, hi.
Hi, James.
How are you?
How's it going, James? Yeah, all right. I've made sure I've turned the background noise down, so we should be fine.
Good man.
Just letting you know, the Skype chat room is just full of crazy people. It's really good fun on there. I've just got to tell any listeners to get in their Skype chat room.
Have you?
Because we're talking about the show.
Hang on.
Go on.
Is that taking all my callers away? If you're all going into a chat room, I'm not hearing any of it.
No, well, the thing is, you need to get a screen where you can see the Skype chat room going on, James, because you'll see we all talk about the show as you're doing the show,
Okay,
and we can also Skype in.
I can see it. I can see
it.
it.
Oh, good. Well, keep an eye on that from time to time, because we make little comments.
Mr. Tubbs says, yeah, cut off.
That's the last guy.
Glenn Holmes says, I said I need Skype credit to make calls.
Right.
Does he
no, he doesn't.
No, okay.
And just to let you know, James.
And BB says to a landline phone. She's chatting up.
Skype's free.
Skype to Skype's free, is it? Okay. Sorry, Mr. Tubbs. Yeah, go on. Because
I've made a little video. Just that lady that was on at the beginning of the show trying to work out how to use the old FM dongles and that. I put in your forums, JamesWellRadio.com, in the forum section. There's Mr. Tubbs, cheap and cheerful, how you know, use the internet. Done a little video for you. It's all dedicated to James Whale Radio. And I've set up a little unofficial James Whale forums. I've emailed you, so I'll let you check your emails, and
all right.
And I've given you a few links, so I'll just let you peruse that, and I'll quite willing to hand it over to Kevin, your internet guru, and let him integrate it to your website.
Brilliant.
But it's looking really nice.
He's away at the moment, but Mr. Tubbs, he's back at the end of the week, and I'm doing a web chat, I think, next Monday on one of the on one of the Facebook sites, I think.
All right.
I'm not sure.
You have to let us know about that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it'll all be on the website anyway. Before
keep an eye on your forums, James, because they're very active.
All right, we'll do. And thank you for looking after things, Mr. Tubbs.
No problem.
All right, matey. Bye.
Take care, bye.
Nearly the end of the show, and hang on. Hello again. Think that running the show from 8 to 12 would be a better idea if you could sort it out in the coming weeks. Chris in Huddersfield. I'll see what I can do, Chris. You never know. It's nice of them to look after my... isn't it, really? Hang on, another call coming. This will be David from flipping Leicester. David!
Call James Whale. Show on playradiouk.com. Call James Whale. Show on playradiouk.com. James Whale.
I know that voice. I know that voice. Who is it?
I've got a feeling that was Zara.
Was that Zara?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure that was Zara?
Well, it sounded a bit like a lady called Zara,
yeah,
who goes by another name as well, but I'll leave it.
Well, I know a young lady who, who used to ring me an awful lot under different names, who used to be one of the singers of, oh gosh, I've forgotten the name of the band now.
Well, Zara is a singer.
Yeah, no, I can tell listening to her. That's why I thought it was the same. Oh God, what was their name? They had a big hit with the Rivers of Babylon.
Boney M?
Boney M, yeah.
Ah, that's not Zara.
Are you sure?
It's my understanding Boney M are all black, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zara's not black.
Very black voice.
Well,
Blackish?
Might not have been her then.
Okay.
Sounded like her.
Do you know Zara?
I've met her once in person, and she's phoned in a few times and sung a few things.
I see. Right, well, very nice, Zara. Thank you very much indeed. Well, maybe we can use that. You never know, do you? Right, last couple of emails here. James, late again. I'm still stuck at the computer to listen. Listened to the... I see, right, okay, to your show on Sunday,
yeah.
Okay, it's confusing. And is Tommy getting paid for that?
No, it's not the Tommy Boyd Show.
Yeah, but Tommy's name is in the title. If it was me, if you did a show called Not the James Whale Show, I would want paying. I'm just telling you, this is the commercial world we live in, right? And Tommy is a bit soft if he doesn't charge you for using his name. Talking about somebody, you see, somebody was asking me about, you know, what it was like suddenly finding yourself without your whatever. But I am my job. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is it. Yeah. When you are your job and you lose your job, you kind of lose part of you. It's a very, very strange thing because I am James Whale, and therefore my job is being James Whale, which PlayRadio UK allow me to do, and the JamesWhaleRadio.com allows me to do, and various other things too. You haven't watched me on Bid TV, have you?
I'm never around when you're on. 4:30 I'm at work.
Listen, I do it. I'm going to get a regular time, I think. But Saturday night, I was on at 10 at night
usually on this close season
until 1:30. Are you? If I knew you were really this much into football, I would have had to think twice about allowing you to work with me. I'm going to have to talk to Lee.
You talk.
I can't. I don't like football. I mean, I don't mind football. But it does take over people's lives, and football is responsible for the majority of people being a little brain dead because they watch football, they're interested in football, they do not open their minds any wider. And I wondered why you didn't know where Strasbourg was.
You're generalising then, James.
I'm not generalising.
I didn't take tonight off to watch the Holland match, did I?
No.
There you go.
But you wouldn't have allowed to, would you? Who would have helped me here if you hadn't been there?
I didn't even ask.
And where did he get to tonight?
He's in Florida, I told you that last week.
And how long is he in Florida for?
Next week, and he'll be back the week after, I think.
Have we missed it?
No.
I think that's a job we don't need.
Probably. He does it for free, so...
Can't have people. Why are you having work experience people running around here for free? No.
He's been with us some months.
Yeah, well, why doesn't he get paid?
He gets paid for some of the work he does, yes. He loves it. He's only 17.
I don't get... Well, that's even worse. You're taking advantage of a child.
Not at all. He doesn't have to come if he doesn't want to.
You're taking advantage of a child.
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm getting worried about you. I am getting worried about you. There's something funny about you. You and Dave. Something definitely funny about you and Dave, to be honest.
And just going back to Dave, who you think's my boyfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
No, well, I don't think anymore. I realise that obviously he
I'm a
is.
bit brain dead for liking football. That's ridiculous.
Football. You got to get out and do other stuff. You really have. Okay. That's almost it, really.
That is. Yeah, that's it. We've got no more time for
what I'm
anything
doing is stuffing things into the basket under there. Right. Okay. Well. One more later. Oh no, I've just done that. Listen, guys, it's been really great tonight. It's zoomed past, so I'm going to go and have a sandwich. Get in mind. I'm going to for a wee first. I don't know if you want to know any of this stuff, but I'm going to go and have a pee.
That still smells.
Hey, would you stop that, please? That's disgusting. And then I'm going to go home. And why have you changed the webcam?
I'm just moving them back up.
No, that's all right. Why have you got two there now?
Because we usually have two cameras. We just have one for you. Because they don't really want to see me tapping away on the computers.
Right, okay. Well, in that case, the James Whale Radio Show here at Play Radio UK returns next Tuesday live. In the meantime, let me know what you think. You can email me here at james.whale@playradiouk.com. You can email me via jameswhaleradio.com, and we will all get together and talk. Coming up next, I think it is Sarah Booker, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Sexy Sarah.